Hey, everybody. So Andrew is gone for the next 3 weeks. So we thought that we would, instead of finishing out season 1 with him not present, because that sucks.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a fun little 3-parter instead. So we're gonna do basically 3 ages of Kloht's champions who have been seen and discussed in recent episodes. But now we get a chance to see, what their tasks were, what they did, and now we get to define who they are, which is fun because they were just skeletons and broken chairs. And now we get to meet these people in the past, thousands of years ago. So I am pretty excited, and you'll also notice that all the old interactions are going to be back tonight. So because it can be bonkers, because it's fun. We're going to for $5. Oh yeah, I'll go to. Oh really? Yeah. So for $5, you can give any of our players a blessing, which is a D6 roll that they can apply to anything. For $10, you can give them a reroll, either a group or individual. And then for $15, you can give me a DM reroll, which allows me to force players to reroll their good rolls. There are also character drops. They are back. They're back for these next 3 weeks, and enjoy them. So a character you describe, drop them into the world. We're going to roll with it. And I just have to deal with it. And then for $50, you can give any of the players DM powers for, I almost said 5 minutes. Fuck that noise. 1 full minute. 1 minute of DM powers. One minute. Of DM
You
powers.
heard him. 5
whole minutes.
And then our old unlocks are also back, so it's going to be a monster drop at 100. It's going to be a roll on the wild magic table, and then it'll be something that the characters can build, preferably to sort of prep themselves for the next session. Again, these are going to be 3 separate missions that sort of tie together as we see, we're going to do champion stuff. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to try something new tonight as well, where I am going to, as we go, ask a few more sort of open-ended questions that I'm going to let you as the players sort of fill in. So you're going to get to build a bit more universe tonight, because I think that'll be cool. I have some backup moments and ideas should things should we get lighter with some stuff, but I think it's going to be fun to build together. Happy silence, says Garamond. Back to work. Oh no. Greet. So let's go around. And not just say your character's name and who they are, but sort of give us a bit of their background. Like, who are they? How are they linked to their faith? Because they should be at least faith-wise connected to Kloht. And at this particular moment, you are not yet champions of Kloht, to clarify at the top of this session. You have not yet been rounded up, as it were.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yes, I am.
Yeah. All right, let's, who's got backstory? Who's ready? I'm gonna go with you, Garkorthum.
Okay. Garkorthum, excuse me.
We're muted the whole time.
You were muted.
Oh no!
I was like, I'll go first, and I'm like,
the hell you will.
No, go ahead.
Ryan got again.
Are you? Do you want to go?
I can. I don't need to.
Okay.
Okay. Forgive me for this voice. I don't know where he's going yet.
All right.
Dark Tunnelfoot. Jark. The H is silent. I'm a goblin monk. Slash paladin for Kloht. I'm gonna stop that right now. So basically, I'll get into it.
Into session 0.
It'll come out. Yeah, session 0. So I was toying around with some backstories. I should have reached out to you, Danny, but yeah, you can change it. I'll change it on the go. I have no problem with changing it whatsoever. Basically, depending on how he got picked up, he, as a young goblin, or even as an older goblin, I kind of have him as an older kind of goblin, got involved with watching the quarry fights, in the contest ring. Really enjoyed that. Saw a monk in there who was basically also kind of he was a monk, but of the order at that point in time of Kloht, because at that point in time the cultists were good. I think they're maybe you can back. I don't know. You can change all this stuff, but at that point in time, there wasn't any kind of Ellish hadn't. Anyway, I'm just going to say he was a monk of Kloht. My goblin really liked that and wanted to do something more with his life than just kind of live in tunnels and kind of live the way goblins kind of are, So he wanted to really seek out. He definitely is. He's very optimistic. He's learning about the benefits of death. He understands the circle of life and its natural state. Nothing is random, with death. He respects that. He's about 3'10", pretty built. He's a 4th level monk at this point in time, so he's getting his, he's pretty muscular wise. He's not like a raw, no, but very like versatile in his movement, like a monk would. He's got brown eyes, like earthy colored brown eyes, green hair with a mohawk. It's just the way they cut it in the temple, very, and then orange skin of the earth. And he is actually a monk. He's the monk of 4 elements, way of the 4 elements. Nice. Being in the tunnels, he wanted to learn how to. He'd heard about past legends being able to move elements, and he wanted to be able to help carve tunnels and move things. So he's basically kind of more of an earth bender monk sort of style.
Cool.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I like it.
That's Jerk.
Nice.
Like I said, please feel free to change any of that.
So. Let's go to Eris.
Yeah.
I will change one thing. Sorry. I will interrupt because at this point in time, we're about 3,000 years back. So actually the people of Quarry are not on the continent yet. So I would say, yeah, you saw a pit fight or something like that, or a demonstration of maybe like a monk school or something like that. But they had not yet immigrated from the other continent yet.
Yeah. Okay. Then I would say he got picked up as a monk. He got picked up by a temple for being left at this temple that was in the realm, wherever it was.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I was kind of going off of that like orphan kind of style too.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, so the kingdom of Estrain at this point is still very strong. It is the hub of humanity. And at this point, it also would stretch, instead of the coasts, it's basically the entire central like band of the continent. So they've got both coasts, the center, everything but the mountains and the plains basically is under the humans' reign at this point in time. Because the elves are still mostly all off on their own island. Our islands, and all 4 islands at this point are up. There is no Maw to speak of. And this is also before the gods have abandoned the continent. It doesn't mean they're like, chilling with everybody, but this is like olden days.
So this is before tieflings then?
Oh,
Correct.
wow.
Okay.
I almost chose a tiefling. I'm glad I didn't. Surprise.
Yeah, all right. So would Kloht still be revered as not a screw?
Oh, sorry. I lied. The Maw does exist. The Maw just existed. That was the whole point of this. That's my fault. Yeah, sorry. The Maw does exist. So he is basically in hiding. The god of death is in hiding. So it's harder right now to be of the faith of Kloht because people blame him for all of this death and destruction in the mountains. But you know better.
Maybe we'll say that the temple was a very hush-hush kind of monk order.
Sure. Yeah. I like that.
That's why they can kind of pick up a goblin, because no one's going to see that as weird, I don't know. There's so much more backstory.
Makes sense.
give this guy. Learning.
Yeah.
I didn't
3
front
shot.
load a
I
lot
shouldn't
of
Oh,
put
thank
too
you,
much.
Valen.
Thanks,
too much
Valen.
into
31
it,
months of fun. Yay!
All right, I'm gonna move on.
Cool.
Go.
My name is Haley, and today I'm going to be playing Eris Isel. She is a Kwai Gaul. She was originally a Kwai Gaul, but since her banishment, she is now a Kwai Lem that has been is serving. Well, I guess she's not serving a sentence yet with Kloht. So I guess we'll say she has recently become a Kwai Lem, and she's supposed to be headed north, or she starts feeling that pull toward north, I should say, toward the glass lands. She does have a heart beast. His name is Roz. He is a wolf snow leopard mix. And she is a druid. And her background is in, we call it resource conservation. She saw a lot of the human colonies starting to grow, cutting down trees, scorching fields to make their plots and things like that. So she's very much in the protection of animals and nature, and she sometimes takes that in her own hand. Yeah, she sometimes will take that in her own hands or claws.
That gamer, thank you for the raid. Oi, oi, oi. Hi, friend. How's it going? Good to see you.
Oi, oi, oi.
Welcome. Yeah, we're just getting started in a new 3-parter with some new characters. You just came in for introductions, so welcome.
Yeah, you just came in. You just got here in time. So she will sometimes take her matters into her own hands or her own claws to keep the balance between nature and humanity. And that's probably why she got kicked out of being a Kwai Gaul. They didn't really like her killing people, even if it was for the balance of nature.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Sounds about right. All right, now for reals. Name I can't say.
Garkathum?
Can you say it?
Apparently not.
Garkathum?
Garkathum. He is a dwarf, a gray dwarf. And probably don't have Duergar in your world.
Maybe they died out by the time
Maybe they died out.
Were there.
Yeah. So I kind of picture him as a nomadic dwarven society, but an underground nomadic.
Sure. Yeah, just tunneling from place to place. I dig that.
And so he worships the god of death because he's a barbarian, and the deaths that he gets to give are the ones that balance the world.
That's psychotic. I like it. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I mean, if there's a god of death, you're only allowed to kill what you're supposed to kill. Right.
Exactly. So every combat is like, this is the proving ground of like, this is who gets to live and who gets to die. This is how it should be decided. So he is.
And let Kloht sort him out.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Liana Limel? Diva?
Leanna Limmel.
Liana.
So I'm going to be playing Leanna Limmel. She is a Quilem as well. She was studying at did the college exist? Wizarding.
Well, no. The College of Oral does not yet exist.
Okay.
However, this is the beginnings of Sanctum Safehold. So Sanctum Safehold is a known place where gnomes go to practice and learn and create new magics. But it's like, that's where the crazy people, it's like, the equivalent of like the crazy people who live up on a hill, like making moonshine and shit, and there's explosions all the time. It's like, yeah, don't fuck with them. Like, just leave them alone. They're fine.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's like, it's like Aurora Borealis, like shooting out of trees and shit over in that area. And everyone leaves them the fuck alone.
Okay, that's awesome. So she was studiously studying for quite some time, very kind of quiet, bookish, and was brought as a wizard to serve a human king. And when she noticed that he was just mismanaging his people in his hamlets, and these people were dying, that's when she started praying to Kloht as a way to try to give salvation to these people and comfort in their afterlives for a
Hmm.
unsavory king.
I
Yeah.
like all the stories except for mine. I'd like to change my entire character.
Oh, I have a heart beast. I can have one, right?
Iroquois, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know if this works. I want a snowy owl chameleon.
That's fine. Do it. Iroquois
It's
leader,
an
yeah.
owl chameleon. Yeah.
Almelian.
Owmelian.
Yeah.
Or cowl. Mal?
Or a cowl.
All right. I like that. I
Mal.
like that. That's very,
Yeah,
very fun. Cool.
And I have a snow
Yeah,
leopard.
its name is Owl.
His name is
I'm assuming I got it when I was very young, and so just named it Owl, and it stuck.
Cute.
There's a longer name somewhere.
So does it have wings and 4 legs, or does it have like wings and like the weird chameleon feet?
So in my head, it has wings, but the tail is more chameleon-like. But as a
Okay.
chameleon, it can kind of blend with its surroundings.
Sure, feathers can change color, all that.
Yeah.
Dig it. Sweet. And again, welcome, Raiders, from Dead Aussie Gamer. Cool. We got character backstories. Real quick, I'm going to go through our sponsors, just mention who they are, and that if you do exclamation point and the company's name in the chat, you can figure out how you can interact, get discounts, get all that good stuff. So we've got Wormwood Gaming for all your dice tower and needs and all that good stuff. Dice towers, wonderful shit. We use them. But use code Perception at checkout for free shipping anywhere in the USA. Sorry, Australians. And we also have Adam's Family Gaming. They just came around there. So that's ATOMZ_family. They make wonderful t-shirts and stuff. They also can customize. So for when I work out, I now have my Reshik of Metzan tank top and Snoots the Boar! Exclamation point on my wonderful shirt. I'm very excited about it.
Still haven't seen it. Still haven't seen it yet.
I did put it in my story when I was all sweaty and gross, but then I hurt myself, so I haven't exercised for 3 or 4 days. It's been great.
Sorry.
And then yes, we also have our Hubbatus friends over at Level Up Dice. If you use our link to go shopping, it helps us earn our way up the ladder. But we also collaborate with them on entertainment. Occasionally, we'll have Chunk and Cucumber go over there, guests on shows. And yeah, it's something that we'd like to continue to do. We have earned some giveaways, and we've been giving those, however, over on Wednesday nights. So make sure you join us tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. for Perception Check for those dice giveaways. And then we got wonderful things. Norse Foundry. That's the one I forgot. Sorry, guys. Norse Foundry make fabulous dice, particularly aluminum, and yeah, you get stickers and stuff when you order. But they also made our special felted friend dice, which with all of our felted friends' faces laser etched on the side, which I left in the other room. Janasi says, "Amazing stream. If I may offer my humble opinion, thanks." Oh no, Dead stream was amazing. Thank you. We have yet to prove ourselves. That makes sense. That's fair. Yee, and that's everybody. So
Okay.
let's wonderful. I'm going to go around to each of these wonderful characters, and sorry for raining on the Jark parade. But we've got. So we're going to go around and Garkothum.
Arkatham.
You're getting
It's
a
called
nickname
Gark. His
real
name's Gark.
fast,
Gark.
Brando.
You know?
Gark. Great. Gark.
Gark.
You got a nickname there?
What is the most recent sacrifice? What is the thing you have most recently done? Your most recent incident that you dedicated to the god Kloht? Like what is your like crowning achievement in your service to him?
Defeating 100 men in battle.
100 men single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
Sounds like some Anakin
this level.
Skywalker shit to me. You're a level 5 bullshit. But all right. It was all sleeping, I tells you. I'll take it. Wonderful. Valen, thanks for gifting that sub
Thank you.
to your Genasi. I'm probably saying that right. Ira, maybe? I don't know. But welcome.
Fire.
Cool. So yeah, you have just finished just bashing in the 100th skull. You know, you're like Gimli, just bashing them through, counting them off.
22.
Right.
23.
You got in my head, you've got 1 hit point left. You're fucking bleeding from every possible orifice.
Right.
It's just like you. And what's your weapon of choice?
Oh, I have a great axe and I have 2 hand axes, and I also can turn into a beast.
So what state
Yep,
are you in right
yep.
now at this last
Um,
moment, the final
I
kill?
probably would have been in a rage at this point, so I am just returning my mouth back to a normal size.
Sure.
And my claws are starting to retract, and my tail is starting to become back to a normal Duergar.
Okay, great. So as that's happening, and your mouth is able to shape the word 100, you look down and you're gonna, I don't know, collect a trophy or something barbarian-y, right? And you go to interact with your particular realm, and as you do, it just sort of turns to dust in your fingers. And as that body wisps away, all of the bodies sort of wisp away. The grass underneath the bodies wisp away. The sun melts into nothingness. The clouds evaporate off into space. The stars start swirling. And the next thing you know, you're in complete darkness. And it's cold. You feel stone beneath your feet. You hear the echoing drips of water on stone all around you, but you can't yet see anything. That is where we shall leave you for the moment. Jark, what is your most recent accomplishment for Kloht or sacrifice for him?
Sure. I think not recent sacrifice, but I sacrificed my way of life as a goblin. I don't know. I'm so wishy-washy with his backstory. We'll say recently I've been going around sneakily in towns, kind of putting up what would you say, as an acolyte for Kloht. Huh?
Like pamphlets?
Yeah, like leaving pamphlets that like, hey, Kloht's not an ass. Like he's still
Hello.
believe.
It made
Since he
nothing
just,
boy.
Jark.
like since he just had this mall, like obviously we've heard about it, the temple and all that stuff. So I would say, as of right now, I've been kind of sneaking through like human villages or human cities, leaving pamphlets about Kloht.
Sure.
Just trying to give people another um, uh, a better perspective on what happened.
Sure. I would say to add some weight to that, I imagine just knowing how people react to things, maybe your temple was sacked and but you're still like you pushing for the goodwill of people, right? Being like, listen, like I get it, you're mad. However, like he's not bad. And like I think the bravery of that alone is still going like door to door and being like, have you heard? Like is like that's ballsy, especially at this exact time where the god of death has ripped open the world, causing the death of tons of people. And sorry, I take back my word. The I'm going to say the island has not re-risen yet, but that one quiet isle has been dragged down to the depths.
Gotcha.
So they're all dead.
Okay.
But yeah, so those were the two things that happened. Basically, 1-2 punch. It's like he pulled down an island, and then he pulled down the center of the main continent, and he has not been seen since. And cool, I like that. And so as you are, basically, I would say like even maybe dodging punches, right? But expertly, like people are swinging at you, and you're just tunnel vision. You're just like, no, I have to make sure that people know and they understand. And as you're sort of tacking up, let's just stick with 100 for reasons. You're tacking up your like 100th one as you go to nail that last little tack, like the hammer just through the door, and then the hammer in your palm disappears. Everything around you as well, like whatever in your near just kind of melts away. The wood kind of turns to tree, recedes into the earth itself recedes back, and you feel like you're falling, but nothing seems to be moving. Next thing you know, you're in darkness, stone beneath your feet, stone around your head, hearing drippings and all of that. Quiet, cool breeze. No stench really, like nothing is bad here. It's just like a grotto. Eris.
Eris was making rounds. Danny, since we're thousands of years ago, are there still dragons around?
Oh, thank you for the sub.
Thank you for the sub.
Flavor on
yeah, actually, that's a good question. And yes, dragons would still be around on the continent at this point in time. Still not highly populated by any means, but they've sort of expanded out here. They're sort of trying to lay claim. There's clashes all over the place. They're seen as an enemy invader. But in the same way, it's like, hey, the entire world is new, so stick around. As long as you're not messing with me, I'm not messing with you. So it's like they'll maybe like polymorph into something more reasonable and like have chats
Mhm.
with people and stay in smaller towns, that sort of thing. So most of the dragons currently, they're not necessarily living in secret, but they are sort of fixing themselves to make themselves fit into wherever they are currently staying. And thank you, Bled's Lightyear, for
Okay.
the sub. And aw shucks. Um, and thank you,
So
Frankly
Eris.
Delicious.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. So
You're welcome.
Eris and Roz were doing their rounds when they found, I'll say like a safe haven area for the dragons, and she knew that. But they were also kind of sitting on like caves where there was a really, maybe it was Mooncatch, some kind of like really important mining resource.
Okay. Sure.
You can fill in the blank, whatever that is. But she knew that the
Yeah.
dragons kind of like to hang out there. So she and Roz were doing rounds and she found miners like scoping out the area. So she took out the group of miners because she didn't want to draw attention to this area to protect the dragons and to protect the resource.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. So you killed some to save some.
Mhm.
And as you slit the last throat, or however your preferred mode of dispatching is, actually, what would your preferred mode of dispatching be?
She generally attacks in wild shape form. So her go-to choice is a black tiger with these like gray stripes. So that's how she would have been attacking them with her
Dope.
wolf
Cat
skinless.
murder all
So
over the
freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just see these guys just like
freaking
with their
cool.
picks, just about to go in, you knowing, and they're just dragged out into the woods. And yeah, as your fur ripples and you start to return to your normal form, you sort of fall through the trees, fall through the sediment, fall through the earth, and then you feel just stone beneath your feet. Hear the wet dripping.
What a catastrophe.
Hey.
Leanna.
So to confirm, these are deaths. Deaths. that
Not
we have-
necessarily. It's however
Okay.
however you most recently either sacrificed something for the god Kloht, or it did something in his honor, or whatever fits who you are.
Okay, so this is what I thought. Let me know if this works. The king, who's
Still a stone root at this point in time. This is King Crasher's stone root, the first king stone.
ooh, was
Of
he
humans
kind of
or
not-
of Kwai?
Humans. Oh, sorry, of Kwai? Oh, fuck me. Let me pull up my
Was-
packet.
was Stone Root kind of not the best person?
This stone root
Stone
apparently
root
is
is
not,
human.
and I'm rolling with that.
Right,
Okay.
he is.
He's a first king. He's
Okay.
learning how to be a king.
If
He's great
he
at it
okay,
yet.
okay, because I was like, sorry if I worked that Stone Root. So I want to say that under his reign, as I've been conscripted to serve him as his wizard, I saw when I heard that one of the hamlets had been just kind of massacred, so to speak, by his people. Not sure if it was under his orders or not. I went there and spent several nights giving proper burials to everyone who passed, and just focusing on using my studies to say whatever prayer that I could that they would go into the next world smoothly and peacefully. I did so without the permission or knowledge of the realm.
Right. Yeah. So you gave these people who had a very unceremonious death a ceremonious one. You gave them fabulous. So as you are laying your rites on the last body, you go to sort of place your oil dish down, and it falls through your hand, but it doesn't smash. It just, the dust rolls away. And again, where it would have impacted the ground, that ground just opens up below you until you're all in darkness. And again, you feel stone beneath your feet. You hear the dripping of water all around you, sort of a fresh smell, a bit of a breeze. Suddenly, there are lights hitting downward upon each of you. Pin lights, magically sourced. But you can now see behind you. You can't see you can see each other. You're now illuminated, seeing each other's faces. you also are able to see, as the light splashes on the others, you see that there are stone seats behind each of you. And you're able to see that they are sized to your species and your type. It's as if you were expecting.
What kind of devilry is this? You all silent
Is this a
too?
spell that has brought us here?
Unless you can talk.
What?
I said, is this a spell that has brought us here? Do you not speak common?
When I speak common, I just speak a little slower.
Well, there are some seats behind us. I believe maybe we should sit down.
Do I
Quite comfortable.
see? I'm gonna look around and start kind of walking out of my light,
Mhm.
and
Sure.
look to see if I see anything.
Make a perception check as your eyes adjust.
What else?
14.
14. Gark, it's dark, even for you.
But I have 120 feet dark vision too. This is dark.
Yeah, it's fucking dark. But with your 14, Jark, you're able to see Jark and Jark.
Shark can't see in the dark. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Jark and
Ah.
Jark. You are able to see sort of not too far away from you and almost in line with the semi either way semicircle
Oh.
of the arrangement of your chairs. There's like one more spot to the right of Leanna. Then you can see in that shadowed area, you see a pair of eyes at about humanoid height, and then you see 8 eyes glistening back at you at about maybe gnomish height.
8 eyes congested in one frame,
Yeah.
or 8 eyes.
Two large glints and then 6 smaller glints arranged in the center. Symmetric.
Oh, could I?
You don't see this. Sorry, Jark sees
Oh.
this.
Huh.
I kind of look back to see if they've noticed it, and I see that they don't, and I kind of look back and say, if you're real, make yourself known.
I assure you I am very real, and I would like to welcome you to the fold. Another pin light drops over the head, and you see a tall, he's a Kwai Cool elf, and he has at his waist a small mantis black widow creature to his left. He is bald. He has some scarring on his face, light scarring, old symbols of the old Galen language that you're able to recognize, because at this point it's not that old in the world. It is actually the common written
That's
language.
Ellish. Okay.
He's bald. He seems, friendly
Thank
and
you,
contained enough.
Jasmine.
Thank you, Valius. He's quite a cool elf. I realized my mistake as soon as I ever said it out loud. Written at the time.
It's quite cool. Quite cool.
But he approaches.
Do
I
we all
wanted to
see
be
him,
the
or
one-
just?
Oh yeah. So now the light's on him. You're all able to
Oh,
see.
okay. Sorry. Thank
So
you.
he's greeting you all. Now, please, I am here to speak on behalf of the god Kloht. I am the first of his champions, and I did mention that I thought that perhaps I could use help in assisting him in his efforts.
Well, if he wants the dragons, you'll have to go through me.
Why would the god of Kloht want his dragons? You are here because you protected them.
Jark kneels.
Do not bow to me, bow to him. And he gestures a light hand, and another. It starts as a pin light, and then you see the hulking shape of Kloht used to walk among you all, like he had been seen in the past, and you immediately recognize that this is the god Kloht, and he is sitting in his throne. He's not known for verbalizing, so he sits proudly, and there's a gentle smile on his tusked face and horns just sweeping back in all directions, and his many eyes. But the one that is sort of the symbol of who he is the one at his heart, the massive eye that just opens to greet you all. Now you may bow. And Ellish also kneels and bows to Kloht as he opens his chest.
You should have led with,
Like-
and I immediately kneel.
Yeah.
So Leanna's already seated
Mhm.
because you said there was a chair behind us that fit our frame. Yeah.
Was that?
So you said there was a chair. There were
Yes,
seats
there-
behind us that fit
There are
our.
stone seats for each of you,
Okay,
sized
so
to you. Yeah.
so I had already sat down. So when I see this, I have like a scrambling to the floor
Mhm.
to bow, but it is like
Sh-
it's like the from The King and I, where it's like all the way out the floor.
Mhm.
And then just kind of looking up and making sure I can rise.
Eris hunches her shoulders a little bit, but she's like a cat in a corner where she's still kind of not
Mhm.
really sure.
The eye on his chest looks to each of you just and as so Garg, where on your person, on your property, do you keep your eye of Kloht?
It is a tattoo.
It is a tattoo. So as the eye centralizes on your being, where is this tattoo?
I'd probably have it on my chest where he would have it.
Cool. So I was. Did you have like a big open V-neck barbarian?
Pretty
status?
much, yeah.
Great. So it's visible at
Oh,
all
yeah.
times. Cool.
Yeah.
So you're proud of this. So as the eye looks at you, a radiant white light starts to trace every line in your tattoo, and it takes you like you feel the warmth, but it takes you a second until you look down to realize that it is charged and now glowing with the radiant light. The eye then shifts to you, Eris, in the corner. Where do you keep your eye of?
So she always thought it was a birthmark, but it's on the side of her arm. And then when she goes into her tiger form, it actually is like stripes that form into the eye. She just always thought it was a birthmark.
Right. Yours similarly fills with warmth and radiance and begins to glow. Jark.
That's new.
Jark, where do you keep yours?
It's branded. The branded eye on my back, where the key, right on the spine, where the key centralizes in.
So it's
Oh.
tramp stamp.
Hell yeah.
Not central back, not lower.
Right on the T spine. Got it. Yeah, you feel this calming warmth just kind of go up and down your spine, and then you catch it centralized at where your brand is. And Liana, where do you keep yours?
I have it on the back of my neck as a way to make sure that it stays hidden if I need it to be.
Okay.
So my hair normally covers it.
Also a tattoo, or is it a brand?
Yeah, it was a yeah.
Which one?
Are they all it seemed like everyone had it
Doesn't
on
have to be.
them
No, it
as
doesn't
like
have to be.
a-
It can be on an object. It can be
okay.
a necklace. It can be like the back of a choker.
Okay, in that case,
or
my
a piece of
plan
armor.
was to have it on a pendant, but I didn't
Yeah.
know if it needed to be a
No,
mark.
That's
since
why
it,
I'm asking you. You tell me.
Okay,
No,
thank
it's
you. So I have a pendant
Mm-hmm.
that I just keep under my robes,
Sure.
so it's there.
Yeah, the pendant sort of like tucks itself out from your robes, floats in front of you for a moment, and just gets blasted with a bit of holy light as the eye shifts in your direction. Then the eye sort of centralizes. The large lid rolls over the globe of that eye, closes. The pin light behind Kloht disappears. Ellish once again steps before all of you, and light sort of radiates in this general area. So those pin lights have now widened to just a magical light flushing down on the general area. You now see where his chair is, and there are a couple empty seats still to be filled, but you are all the first call. I apologize for the theatrics, but I had a feeling that if the first thing you saw when landing here was the god Kloht, you thought you all might have died or something. And I'm not used to making new friends, let alone teammates. But we have been charged with a specific task, and I think that, well, not I think. Great Kloht thinks that you are all the ones to fix this problem.
That's the problem.
Well, the problem is that there are those who are charged to die, and they are refusing their end. Nature must take its course, one way or the other. So I've been tasked with holding you all here, and we shall be charged with correcting the problem.
They definitely called me the right guy to bring people to the meet their maker, as it were.
Yes, Kloht is well aware of your previous 100 encounters, and they are all resting peacefully now, thanks to your hand. It was indeed their time, for no one dies without his permission. However, there should be those who die with his permission. These are not dying. Yes. Ja.
If you don't mind me asking, how are they refusing to die?
Well, by some magical means that Kloht is unable to see, and I have been unable to determine. So we are to go to investigate, get to the bottom of it, and correct it. If we cannot correct the problem, we slaughter the town. We make this right. They are charged to die. Their souls belong here. They are overdue.
Not to offend the god Kloht, but you do not understand. I am a quiet lamb, and I will have to make my march north very soon. I will not be able to help you.
Ah, yes, I was informed. You may approach his throne.
She does so cautiously.
Still sitting in his throne, there's some sort of bounce light coming from the stone floor, uplighting him. And as you step closer, you see one of his massive fingers. Like each finger is easily 2 to 3 times the size of you. His index finger begins to twitch. There's a long claw at the end of it, and it seems that he is indicating, "Come closer to this claw."
So cautiously, she comes closer.
He slides his forearm off the edge of his thrown arm and just sort of very gently, like you barely feel the contact as his claw just sort of touches the tip of your forehead. There's a warm wash over you, and that insatiable drive to travel north to the Glasslands evaporates. And Ellish speaks again. As long as you're in the employ of the god Kloht, the worldly magics of the Quai will have no effect. Should you abandon your quest at any time, you will once again be a banished lem, and you shall continue to the north. But I know what you did, and I don't think it was a crime. Not that my opinion counts for much.
Then my schedule has freed up.
Fantastic. Yes, Leona.
This is for Danny.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if this is happening to anyone else, but you're dropping a lot for me.
Oh, am I?
So I'm missing half of your words, yeah.
Ruh-roh.
It's
Okie
a little
dokie.
low, but not
Yeah.
too bad.
I can speak up. Great. Yes, Ja. Ja, right?
Dark.
Ja.
Yes, sir. Why us?
You've proven yourself as not only loyal to Kloht, but in the face of adversity. Your faith has shown true. Kloht has seen it with his many eyes, and he has informed me that you are the correct one. So I brought you here to start a team. We are to be his champions. I've been acting alone as his champion for the last several years, and I simply cannot do it on my own. And I believe you are all the right choice.
Dark spins around to the group, prostrates himself face down, and goes, I will do anything that Kloht commands. I am here for the team, and I am here for the cause.
Excellent. Welcome to the team, Jack. Please, take your seat on your throne. You as well, Eris. These are yours. This is your home now. You will live here evermore, serving the great god Kloht. Gark as well. You may take a seat if you so wish. Leona, do you accept your position?
I, 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 I do not. I do not kill.
There are other ways to serve. By assisting us in this mission, you will
Yes.
succeed, I hope. Now, it is certainly a noble choice to try to not add to the collection of death, but it is equally as noble to add to the pile, is it not, Gar?
Absolutely.
Death is a mystery, and only Kloht knows the way. And we just follow directions like good soldiers, yes?
Are you his vassal, or do you speak for him?
I am charged with being the mouth of Kloht. Yes, I speak for the god.
And what do we call you?
My name is Ellish Bassir.
My name is Leona Lemmel.
Leona Lim. It is a pleasure. Now, as I said, it is time for us to get to our first act and our first mission. We must. As I go and lost my notes. There we are.
You see Jark kind of like on the edge of like almost fanboying because he's heard of this Ellish Bassir, this champion of Kloht, and he's just like on the verge of just going, yeah, anime convention ape shit right now.
Yeah, and he was well known when he was an advisor as well. Like, he's been in and out of so many social circles. Like, he's above and below at any given time. Not everyone knows of his role, but you absolutely would with your secret monastery. They would tell you those secrets. Now, this problem has to do with the village of Carthel. Now, Cathrel. It's in the kingdom of Estrain. It's in the northeast of Saul. It is not too far from Sanctum Safehold. But we need to either get to the bottom and dispel whatever magics are protecting the people, or we take care of the people. There was a plague due to hit not 2 weeks ago. It was ineffective. They did not die. Kloht is owed 56 souls in this small town.
I don't mind cleaning up
He
the
wants
mess.
every last one of them.
Now, please understand, this may be more difficult than you think. These are not just adults in war. These are families. These are people. It is their time, however. But if you are ready to take up the task, we shall go. And we can make it non-violent if we are able to break whatever spell it is. Donk Show, thank you for the sub! How's it going? We are...
So, to understand what, to reiterate, there is a spell over the kingdom that is preventing the plague from.
It is preventing death of any kind.
Oh.
It's just not right.
The elderly linger. The slaughtered rise again. It has gotten past the point of good health and strongly into the place of macabre.
You said the slaughtered rise again right now?
Correct. Yeah, it's like any
Okay.
small town in the middle of nowhere. There's murders, but no one's staying dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's delightful.
They just need to understand death is natural as Mother Nature herself.
That is right.
Question.
I do. Do you know if they're causing this themselves, or are they just as confused as you are?
Kloht's eye is closed to this town, as is mine. I have not been able to decipher what the problem is. If it is the problem of one individual, we merely take out the individual, save the town by allowing the town to pass. But if we cannot get to the bottom of it, by end of day, that town must be laid to rest. Those are the terms of this mission.
I'm ready to go.
And what if we fail?
We will not.
Yeah, you could
We
join the
will
ranks of
lift-
Kloht's million.
But are we dead?
No, you are not currently dead,
No.
nor will you die so long as you remain a champion of Kloht. Granted, my fellow Quai, we would remain undead if slaughtered. However, if you slaughter me, we shall just stand again at Kloht's will.
That's a bit of insurance. That sounds good.
Kloht's will.
So if we are all prepared, ready to go. Now, we will require a bit of a change of clothes. I realize some of us have... we need to blend in a little bit. Now, thankfully, it is, as a small town, it is sort of a refuge sort of town. There are many different types of people here. Individually, we will all fit in so long as we are not wearing our fineries, blood-soaked clothes or otherwise. Now, yes, I understand. They'll be waiting here for you at any given time. Now, you see Ellish kind of look up at Kloht quietly, and then Kloht sort of shifts his weight. You all look down, and you're suddenly in just, plain clothes, peasant's clothes, kind of rural. There's bits of dirt and stuff on them. It looks like you've been maybe working fields or traveling for a while. No longer your clothes. All your weapons are intact. All of your belongings are still there, but they're sort of tucked away and they're easily available.
Doesn't quite have the same panache.
Well, no, we must work in secret so as to not raise suspicions. They already have enough hate for Kloht as it is. If we go and slaughter 56 people in broad daylight, we're going to make his name worse.
Dark's clothes actually kind of look better because they're all like tattered up, like monk, like very monk kind of like basic clothing, holes in them,
Mm-hmm.
Well, let us lift this spell.
Fabulous. All right, everyone, stand over here. And he points to, there's sort of a recessed stone area in the middle of the floor. And he just steps into it, beckons you all forward.
I just realized we were all very trusting of this person.
I mean, the god of death.
That we're just standing in front of.
This is true. Yeah.
What's the town name again, Danny?
It is Cathrel.
Cathrel? Cathrel.
Cathrel.
Oh, I was so close. What an eye.
Come on, Raz. Raz and I will step on the...
Oh, and I apologize for not introducing my heart beast. This is Vaish. He's practically harmless.
Excuse
me. That is not how I describe Raz.
And like a child, Dark kind of goes up to him and like puts his hand out to Vaish.
Yeah. Vaish goes and sort of nuzzles and makes sure his mandibles are closed to not like catch on your skin or anything like that. And it seems like he really appreciates the physical touch and just sort of cuddles up.
I go to step on the stone and I just take my axe off my back and just kind of lean on it.
Excellent. All right, so once again, all ready? Good to go? Right. As soon as he says right, like the second the T hits, it's just... you're in a field. It is midday, it's maybe noon, and you can see a small town, a few hundred yards ahead of you. There's a bit of a creek, like a small, wider river way up north, but a small creek by the time it gets down to here. There's a bit of a lumber mill and a windmill, sort of. Just, they're just enough to function. They're a small town, but they're getting there.
They're a logging town. They're the worst kind. They cut down all the trees. Don't they know you need trees to breathe?
Oh, and also to make books.
And to house people. Now, I understand your concern, but these people, of all people, they only cut what they need. They're actually a good town, and I'm going to regret what is about to befall them, but it is Kloht's will, so we enact it. Right?
Kloht's will. Prostrate.
Kloht's will.
Oh, Ellish came with us.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a champion. So he's, yeah. Sorry, Leanna, what?
I want to just start walking. I just kind of start walking and just kind of looking at the different homes, trying to see if I can perceive any magic coming from any in particular. Just kind of just very much in her own little world. Just kind of.
You're looking for magic specifically. So make an Arcana.
Yeah. looking to see if there's any, if I feel any powerful something radiating from any of these.
Mhm.
23.
23. Nice. Yes, actually. So you're not able to see where it's centralizing from, but you are able to see that this entire town seems to radiate with this bright, just it's non-visible, but you're able to sort of detect it as you extend a hand, and your fingers are able to feel the tickle of this thing. And when you tap it, it sort of echoes in a magical sense all the way around. So this entire area, everyone within this sort of dome of magic is affected by it. There's livestock, there are chickens, there are humans. Hey, thank you for the raid, Carney Sideshow. Also, what a name! I love Carnies. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're playing a little bit of D&D. Thanks for joining. Yeah. So, Liana, you are able to see that this entire town is permeated with magic, but it's way above your pay grade, basically. As you know, magic. This is something you've never seen before. Although you did spend time at Sanctum Safehold, correct? You were saying in your backstory. So you know, like, somebody done fucked around at Sanctum Safehold. I'll say you rolled high enough to know, like, this is only possible because of new magic. Something is weird. This is something experimental and new. Look at the little froggies. They're so cute.
Well, this is new. Oh, that's what you said earlier, Eris. But this is a different kind of new. So I've detected magic throughout the village. So if you press your hand here, you can feel it, but you may not be able to feel it. You're not my hand. Yes, I believe it may have come from the sanctum. Someone has been dabbling in things that they shouldn't be. But we will rectify that. We just need to find who is the one that cast this thrall over this town, and
then we kill him.
Possibly, we might
we
not have
just ask
to,
them
Doc.
to
We might be able to get away. Leona, excellent vision
Yes.
with this. Yes, so it's location based, is what you're telling.
Well,
Do I know?
Yeah, so when you kind of touched your fingers to the outer perimeter of this thing, you were able to feel that it encircles the entire town. So as long as they stay within the confines of whatever this magic is, they can't die. So
I wonder if you can leave the town.
oh yes, it is surrounding the entire village. I don't know if we can leave or not, but anyone who stays cannot die, and anyone who dies will poof, like a weed or a perennial bloom.
Fascinating.
Poof.
Well, I suppose
There's
we
only
might.
one way to find out. Eris will walk past where Leona's hand is and then try and walk back.
Ooh.
Yeah, you do so. And you were walking past, correct?
Yeah, past and then
trying to walk
turn
past
around
the
just so I can
threshold.
get back out.
You feel this sort of like, it's like, as if a dump of cold water is just splashed over your whole back, like every hair bristles, and you just kind of shiver for a second, and then it's filled in with a warm feeling. Hey, thank you for the thank you for the follow. Planet Ooh Venus. Planet Ooh Venus.
Woo Venus, I think it said.
You've come to the right place. You wouldn't know it by this show specifically, but come on a Wednesday. You'll understand. There's Corey. Yeah. Whoa, shit. Fantasy Animal Vegan just tipped to make Gark DM. You got DM powers for 1 full minute, Gark. What do you want to do with it?
I'll save it for.
All right, so save it for a little bit. Thank you so much, Fantasy Animal Vegan. Much appreciated. Everything that is donated goes right back into the channel, helps pay our rent, keep the lights on, and do all that good stuff, and allows us to continue to make great
Thanks
content
for the
you guys.
follow.
And thank you for the follow, Fantasy Animal Vegan. Welcome. Welcome everybody who just followed.
I have a thought. What if we could? Have you heard the tale of the hairy tarper? it's a young boy who had a harp, and he played it for the children, and then they followed him out of the town. It doesn't end very happily, but what if we could
Oh.
strike up a chorus and have everyone follow us out of the town, and then we would be out of the town, and then everyone, if they needed to die, then they would.
Fabulous. Real quick. I have to
Danny, was I
interrupt you.
able to?
like that.
Oh no, yeah, Arsenal, that was great.
Sorry, Arsenal, thank you very
Uh,
much for dropping the character Scrunt Hobblestone, tour guide for the town where people don't die.
Oh darn it! I thought you were like, aha, was like to me because I was looking at Haley and Justin and I didn't even see the character drop. That was
No, I
amazing,
liked
though.
that too, though. That's what I was saying. I like
Was
that.
Eris able to walk back out of the bubble?
Yeah. Yeah, and as you do, that sort of refreshing feeling goes away and you just feel kind of...
You can feel it when you walk through. It's very cold, but I mean, I was out. I was on one side, I was on the other side. East Bank, West Bank. It's okay.
Leona, I think you might be onto something. If we're able to usher all the people out of this town, that might be a potential solution. And as for the harpist, I knew him personally once a long time ago.
Oh.
He's not as impressive as his stories, but pretty damn close. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, Jar.
Forgive me, but if we usher people into the town, I'm English now. If we usher people out of town, then won't they? Only once they pass the threshold.
That would be the hope.
Well, yeah,
Right,
I
but-
understand. With what Leona just
Yes.
told me about the magic around here, is they'll be able to die. My assumption is if they should have already died in the town, I imagine they would fall dead once crossing the threshold. Wow! Holy crap! Another raid.
raids.
Well, thank you so much. More than
Namia.
a Mia. Thank you for the
Oh,
raid.
yeah.
Thanks, friends. Mia raid emotes. That's not an emote. That's just asterisks. Thank you very much for the raid.
Yes, Chalk, I
more
see
than-
you, yes.
Mia. Yay! Thank you so much.
I kind of gleaned from what Miss Leah was saying is if people
Leah.
come out of the town, then they turn to weeds. To weed,
No.
and then they don't go anywhere.
Let me
No,
explain
no.
how Circle of Life works. When things, people, animal die, they become the grass. Then the deer eat the grass. Then the tiger eats the deer. See? The tiger dies, it becomes grass.
Mhm.
Understand?
Well, then why don't the people just go ahead and leave now?
My understanding is they're happy not dying.
They know that they can't. They know they don't.
As you
Is there
say
anyone
that,
just
a
wandering
fellow
around?
just
Yeah.
marches right down the hill to you all. He's got a sort of like sandwich board over his body, and it says tours, 25 silver. And he's got a big old grin on his face. He's like, "Hi everybody, my name's Scrunt Holstone. It's nice to meet you.
Your
I
name
would like
is
to offer
what?
you
Sorry.
Scrunt Holstone."
Oh, gracious, that's quite a name.
Yes, thank you. Mayhem and Magic, thank you for it.
Thanks
Thank you for the
for
follow.
following.
Much appreciated.
You live here.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Welcome to the town where no one ever
I
dies.
start hefting my axe and look to Ellish.
Ellis is just like,
Ah.
please, no, not quite yet.
Excuse
Oh,
me,
and then
Mr.
Scrunt says, "Oh, please, by all means, just bash me right here, as hard as you
Oh
can.
no.
But first, give me 25 silver."
I kill people for free.
Yes, but I don't work for free, so if you would kindly pay me 25 silver, so I can give you a tour of the town that never dies. Welcome to Carthril.
Could you step over here?
Absolutely not.
Excuse me, Miss.
Hobblestone.
Sorry, your first name makes me laugh. Mr.
Scrunt?
Hobblestone.
What's funny about Scrunt?
Yes, it's
Sounds like
it-
small runt. Scrunt.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
It does certainly is more. Well, excuse me, Mr. Hobblestone. Yes, have you died recently?
Well, no, I haven't, as a matter of fact, but let's see, I've been run over by a wagon, I've been eaten
Okay,
by the
yes.
dogs, I've
Yes.
been kicked by several horses, I should have died about 7 times over, I just can't do it.
Hmm.
It's a hell of a thing. Well, let me tell you,
Well,
meat has never been cheaper. You can cut off a steak and it grows back right away.
Oh,
hell of a
that's
thing.
quite terrifying. You see, there is a fire that I saw. Didn't you see this? Jock, there was a fire just outside the town that looked like it was coming this way. Maybe you should go check on it. It may afflict someone, as fires do.
You're talking to me? I thought you said Jock. What?
Yes, no, I'm Jock.
fire?
You're confirming that we saw a fire as we were coming into the town, and that the fire is coming towards the town, and that this townsfellow needs to leave the
Right.
town to check on the fire. Yes, Doc,
Yes, it's coming this way. Yes.
Oh.
Where's this
No,
fire?
we-
He turns around
we
to
just-
look for the fire.
It is that way.
That way.
Yes, just past the entrance of the town.
we didn't see any fire.
I don't
It
remember
must
seeing
have
fire. I
extinguished
would've
itself
smelled that.
last, but I appreciate the concern. But listen, it could roll through this town. We'd be crispy for a day. I'm back up and running by the next morning.
Excuse me for just
May I ask a
one
question?
moment.
Yeah, you got 25 silver or what? I don't work for free. Sean Pella, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated.
Thank you for the follow. Eris will look to Ellish. I don't really have need
Oh.
for money. Could you pay him?
Yes, sorry. Yes, of course. My new friend, Scrunt. Here, 15 silver. Tell you what, I'll give you 30. Can we call that a group rate? And we'll... Yeah, sounds good. All right, yeah, I haven't had a tour in a while, so okay, come on in.
This is for you too.
Oh, thank you.
Strong.
Appreciate it. You guys can always get it back once we kill him.
It's a pamphlet
Sorry?
for Kloht.
Nothing. Oh, right. Well, you paid your admission. Would you like to bash my head in? Yeah. Roll an attack. Hey, thanks for the loot, Ernie Sideshow.
That will be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, you hit. So again, he's not a fighter by any means. He's just a dude in a sandwich board with prices on in front of him. And so yeah, your axe just splits him like right here, base of the skull. He goes down, just limp, just flop. That was easy.
Wait,
And then his hand.
did he say?
Hmm?
Did he say that he died from the plague, or he died from other things?
He should
Other
have.
things.
was other
Yeah, like
things.
getting kicked by a horse and all other kinds of stuff. Getting run
Okay.
over by things. But he did not mention plague.
Wolves.
No. But then you see his lifeless hand just kind of like twitch and then go for the axe and like hand it back to you, Garp. See, already worth the price of admission, right? It's fun.
That's no.
That's
Funny.
new.
When I see,
I oh,
I was gonna say when I see Gark, have just thwacked him, I
Mhm.
go to Gark, like I just kind of step towards him and I'm like,
You don't just kill people and wait for them to come back.
He asked me to.
He said
Actually,
it
this
was
is very
okay.
troubling because it seems that we really must break whatever magic this is because killing them doesn't seem to work. Ellis says way too loudly next to this guy. Yes, Ja.
Dirk, can you come down here, please?
No.
Sorry. What?
Gark and Gark and Jark. I made my name before I knew his name.
Ooh, the Gark and Ja.
We call him Pen for short.
I think you can always just pick him up and throw him out the bubble.
You want me to?
Wait. I have a question first.
All right,
before we Strong.
kill him.
You are tour guide of town. You must know a
Absolutely.
lot about town, yes?
Yes, I know quite a bit about town. I know where you can get the meat, where you can get the eggs, where you can get the chicken, and who's fine with being killed for fun. But killed, yeah.
Well, it
Town that
doesn't seem
doesn't
like a very
die.
big. It doesn't seem like a very big town. I feel like you know everyone, also. Yeah.
Well, yes, our population is exactly 54. But yes, it's small town. Everybody's lovely. Yes.
He said 56.
Wait, did
Do
you
you
say
know if-
54?
He said 54.
Yeah, they're missing
Do
two.
you know if anyone came to the town don't go French. Recently,
Oh,
since the plague happened, did you have any visitors come?
well, look at you, sharp as a tack. Yes.
Cunning as a
But I feel like that might be the private details.
Well, here's some silver. I would like those details.
What's
now,
private in a
please.
small town, am I right? Listen, yes, not too long past, a few months ago maybe, there was a fella, his name was Vernon Threebloom. Now, he's a cleric, and he and his wife came to town. Vernon and Cher came. It's funny about...
Any relation to Bo?
What? No, what? No, what?
Burnham what? Burnham what?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No.
Vernon what?
Vernon
No,
and
what
is
this?
Cher.
Burnham
Three
what?
Blooms. They're the Three Blooms. They come recently to
Where?
town. Yes. Oh, I just assumed she didn't have a last name. Just Cher. No, her name is Cher. Three Bloom.
Did Cher ever
Cher.
fall down?
Well, yes, but she got back up again because no one can die here. She actually fell into the well when she first arrived.
Interesting.
Made quite a
You
splash.
say-
Ah, ah, ah.
Very.
Kloht helped me from
Very
having to deal
hilarious.
with puns.
What
You
plan?
said he was a cleric. Do you know what god he serves?
My understanding is that he serves Luidwin, of all people. Yes, the healer.
Interesting.
So,
Could you tell us? Oh, sorry. Yes. What?
no, please go on. I'm your servant for the next. He pulls out a sundial. Hour and a half.
They're making them very small now, aren't they? But could you tell us where we could find these three blooms, please?
Certainly, yes. The Three Blooms have taken up
Yes.
shop in the temple. Previously, it was a temple to Kloht before you know what happened. So we have now since turned to a town worshipping Luidwin. Yes.
And a home? Where do they live? They're
They live in the
that's
temple.
where they live.
We done with them yet?
Oh,
What?
you got me for another
What?
hour and 24 minutes.
What, where's the temple?
Oh, it's just head straight up the main street. It's at the very end of it. All roads lead to the temple, you know. Yes, that's actually a stop on our tour, if you'd like to stay. But feel free to travel as you wish at your own leisure. It's entirely up to you, of course.
Do you think
Well, as
there's
you say, we
anything
don't get
you could
many
show us that
visitors.
would
So
be
yeah,
important besides the temple?
What?
Leanna just
think-
books it.
She's just
Leanna
walking
starts
at a
walking up
brisk
the road.
pace.
Okay, I was going to ask if there's any place else we should see besides just heading straight for the temple, because that sounds like a really good lead.
If we're in a dome, there might be a central point of where the magic is coming out.
You're not wrong.
Really, yeah, that is quite a... You're right. It's got to be coming from somewhere, doesn't it? I imagine this cleric is probably our best bet of the most recent addition to this town, and to be honest, a lot of them... He sort of waits until... I'm going to say that Scrunt kind of chases off after Leanna, thinking that she's all about the tour. So he's just like, yes, a customer! So Ellish hangs back with you all. I don't imagine that the rest of this town, he's sort of looking at citizens going about their business, they're just drawing water, getting chickens, harvesting some crops, that sort of the usual stuff, like peasant stuff. He's like, I don't think any of them know how to wield magic. I'm not getting any sense off of any of them.
Ellish, you had mentioned earlier that this plague was scheduled. Did Kloht send it on purpose to clear this town?
Again, it is, yes, Kloht's will to reap this town. I never ask why, but yes, he sent a plague, and the plague just dissipated upon entrance, which is unnatural and against his will. These souls belong to Kloht, whether they like it or not. He will guarantee them peace when they arrive, of course, but for now it is our job to make sure that they all perish.
So perhaps this cleric and his wife arrived prior to the virus being released.
Virus?
Sorry, my comment is not so good. The plague.
Ah.
I think we should go check out the temple.
Right.
Okay.
Well, looks like that's where Leona and our new friend are going. So let's just tag along, shall we? Make some perception checks, all four of you, along the road to see if you spot anything interesting.
And let me know if Scrunt has taken us in a different direction randomly,
No, Scrunt is kind of he's
still
a
going to
step
the
behind
temple.
you. He's like as you're walking in the front, it's like as you maybe walk slightly to this side of the road, it's like, oh yeah, that's Farmer Master's house, and he makes the finest pies in all the land. Just a cup of copper, and if you give him a wink, 1 copper. I promise you, he's very excited to meet new people.
Thank you. I'm quite hungry.
Oh, excellent. Yes, I'm good at my job. And then he's like, oh, there's one over here. This is where you can get the best eggs in the land. Those chickens feed on everything. So they've got all this sort of wonderful, just extra flavors under that mild.
Critical 25.
Wow.
Damn critical.
Yeah.
Critical 24.
And an 18 for me.
18.
19.
Dark has his hood up over his big goblin ears.
Great. Okay. So those of you who rolled
17.
17, great.
Sorry.
17 or above, I will say. You're able to see the town is fucking weird. So unlike I would say Scrunt specifically, Scrunt maybe, I don't know, maybe he's extra saturated in whatever this magic is, but not everyone has quite healed quickly in the way that he has. Maybe age has something to do with it, but there are older folks who clearly have taken a tumble or something. You see in a rocking chair, there's an old man whose neck is out over here. Clearly suffered from a broken neck, but is still just rocking along. It's hard to tell if he's in pain or not, but he's definitely alive, and he's got eyes on you. There are other people who have sort of holes in them from aggressive disagreements, we might say. And they're also sort of just carrying on as normal. And while they look healthy-ish, they're not all there. It's as if something they've gone past what they should have gone past. But the kids, you see kids running around, they're playing a little harder than normal. It's kids with sticks, they start fighting shit. These kids are fucking hurting each other and then laughing as their cuts and stuff are healing back up. So it does seem that age is a factor in how well this spell works.
When we get close to the city, the buildings, Dark's going to try and keep to the dark places of buildings.
Sure.
Kind of scuttle, but keep up with the group.
Sure. Stealth.
So he can, before he leaves, say, "I'll be watching, not far."
What?
I don't got any rerolls
You'd be
now, do
watching
we?
what? Sorry.
No, not yet.
Do you want me to
Watching
go
what?
with you? It can make us a little more stealthy.
No, that's a 10.
All right.
Wait, watching what?
Rolled a 4.
What
the hell?
God, that was a giant.
Goodness, pal. Heyo.
Cucumber guest appearance.
I don't know if I've
I rolled a
ever
10
seen
for
anyone
stealth.
just eat a giant cucumber.
So, all right. That was a bigger bite than I
Is that
intended.
good anyway?
So people see
You think he's
you.
gonna get past this? You think he's gonna get past this, Danny? You think you can cucumbers gonna get past these eyes?
It smells lovely,
It's
though.
quite a cucumber too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no
It
shit.
is a hunker.
I know. Respect.
But yeah, so the people of the town definitely see you. It's midday, like sun is shining down on you. Like you're trying to keep the shadows. There just aren't enough shadows for you. Character Francis, the town butcher, whose job has gotten incredibly harder with animals that don't die and never stops screaming when they're carved up. Thanks, Arsenal Roy 2K.
What? No. What?
That's pretty funny.
Okay, Eris, you take care of this guy.
And that brings us to our first monster drop, by the way.
Oh,
Oof.
no.
Ooh.
We can't kill it either.
We're gonna have to get it out of town. We have to lure it out. There's no other way.
Yeah, but he can't kill us either. So we're a
Oh,
stalemate.
That's true. That's true. We don't know.
Never-ending story. Monster drop, monster drop, monster drop.
Interesting. How does the monster drop work if nothing dies here?
Wrap him up.
Jizz.
Would it become more like a fly that we just like keep trying to swat and it just bothers us?
No. Yeah, so Jark, you're sort of darting around, and as you're sort of keeping to the shadows and getting into an alley, you just hear like and as you hear this terrible noise coming from inside of this slaughterhouse you find yourself under. And it's sort of like a double swinging door, like old like cowboy doors sort of thing. And the top one is open. So as you're up against the wall, you peek in and you see this massive amphibious creature whose thigh is being sort of like carved off, like, you know, like a chop, like a steak, that sort of thing. And the butcher is just sweating, and you can tell he feels terrible, but it looks like he's continuously cutting off the same piece of meat. Like this is the prime cut on this animal. So you see like it's all left thigh chunks like off to his left, because like as he's cleaning off his blade and salting this meat and moving it to the side, you can see the flesh starting to heal up and over again. The chains on this thing's neck, however, like while the chain is keeping well, the chain where it goes and connects to the back of the barn, you're able to see, Jark, that it's like screwed in, but from all its struggling, it's like and it's loose. But yeah, the butcher. Oh, I'm so sorry. Listen, I'll kill you for good. I can't. I'm doing my best, all right? I'm sorry. He's like, he is as miserable as anybody would be. He's like, oh, this is supposed to be painless. There's nothing I can do about it. And he kind of like pats the poor creature. He's like, this giant mouth just like opens up, sort of like a big frog bloat in the front. What's that called?
I've never been so unsettled as I am in this moment.
So it's like a fish frog.
It is. I will drop an image in the chat real quick. It's pretty sweet.
Just eat cucumbers.
Yes, ma'am. All right, links in the chat for what this sucker looks like.
Garden.
Yeah.
Is it in our chat?
It's in
Twitch chat.
Frog.
Yeah, there's a big old frog thing. Big old frog thing with claws and stuff. Nom nom nom. So Jark, you see this. You see this butcher like having a moment. He's just sort of off to the side, and he feels bad, but he's packing all the meat. There's some things we have to do to keep this place alive, you know. Have you? Hello there.
Hey.
So.
Keep going. You're doing great.
Hello. How you doing?
Wait, Are you really asking me?
Oh.
Oh, poor
Um,
guy.
How can I help you?
Well, if you can find a way, I'm a butcher, you see, and my name's Francis. It's nice to meet you, but I'll take no joy in tormenting this poor creature. Normally, I'd have run a rail through his brain or something, so I can't feel any of this. But no matter what I do, he keeps coming back, and I have to keep cutting off meat from him because people, for whatever reason, are still hungry. It's not that we can die; they just now want to eat like kings or whatever. Because endless steaks.
Are people eating him?
Well, yeah, it's the best cut, you see. I was alternating sides for a bit, but if I get too close to him, he slashes at me, and I don't blame him, but it's my job. And I feel like they'll cast me out if I don't do my job, and if they cast me out, well, you see, I went and
What does it eat?
well, it's smaller critters. Well, if they're angry enough, they could eat a person, probably.
Is it? Does it taste?
You see it like
Ugh.
2 more notches out of the wall in the end of the
Does
chain.
it taste good?
Oh, it's probably the best thing you've ever eaten. It's like the texture of chicken, but it's this really nice, light sort of white fish flavour. It's to die for.
More of them?
Well, no, you see, they're really hard to catch, and they're rare to get this large. They tend to kill themselves out in the wild. They're not very smart. They go after the biggest thing that's moving, and they try to eat it. But this is giant territory, so occasionally they get smashed.
What if you put it out beyond the magical dome, cut it up there, and then bring it back in?
See where your head's at, sir, but unfortunately I can't. I fell off the roof a week ago, broke my neck, and my understanding is if I leave this place, that'll catch up with me. This town needs a butcher. This town needs Francis.
If people don't die, then why do they need food still?
Well, you got to find joy if you're never going to end, right?
Well, why do people need food still?
Joy. Things taste good, no? I mean, I'd grow vegetables, but I'm not a farmer. I don't know how to plant seeds or anything like that.
Maybe you can talk to somebody in my company.
Oh, your company? You've got a company.
I
You
go
come
out
with
and-
friends. Could I interest you in a steak on the house?
Randy, I tell the others about.
Oh,
to
sure.
come
Yeah,
in.
so Ellish is there almost immediately, just silently at your side.
What did you find?
He has a problem.
Hello.
Am I there? Are we all
I would say
together now?
Scrunt
a
probably
little
saw
further?
the group and kind of like
So-
tapped you and is like,
Okay.
I seem to be waving at you, dear.
Hey.
I'll wait for you up at the top of the hill. Or to continue. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, my name's Francis, and I'm the butcher.
Hello, Francis the Butcher. My name's Leona Limmel. I'm not a butcher.
What are you? What do you do?
Oh, I'm a wizard.
Wizard. That's
Yes.
exciting. I've never met a wizard before. It's-
Oh, yes. So what does your Oh, this is a creature.
Oh yes, this is you call it a crisis with an A. It's a crisis. It's a big
It's what?
frog thing. But I
That's
trust me
not a
when I say it's
word.
delicious. And please understand. And again, its leg is almost fully healed up now. And as you look, it's like whatever was left of its wound is now like perfectly smooth again. I don't want to keep hurting it, but it just keeps not dying. You see, humane slaughter is a thing, and I'm trying to do my best. Ranrock, thank you for the follow. Well, no matter what I do, this thing just struggles to get
delicious in
angry and
here.
angry. What was that?
Your shop smells very good.
Oh, well, please help yourself. There are crisis steaks to go around. Salted and ready to go if you'd like to grill it. Something tells me you might not have to grill it. No offense.
I prefer nice and rare, good and raw. This is fine.
Right.
She just picks it up and starts just like tearing into it. Like,
Right. It is
Hey.
delightful. It is exactly as you described. It's just very light, fresh, sort of not red meat flavor, but very white flavor.
Hey, Aris, you got something and I in common. And I just go into
No. I was glad to see somebody's enjoying them. You know, people stopped buying them about a week ago. I feel like they're just not as hungry anymore, to your point, Mr. Jock. Was that your name, Jock? I overheard. I've been listening.
Well, why don't you just let him go? And that way you don't have to keep him, and him keep getting mad, and you keep getting sad.
Well, I thought about that, I really have. But my problem is that if I let him go, I can't go hunting into the forest. He'll drop dead.
But, wait, didn't you say
But
that
you
people aren't buying the steaks anymore?
Right. I think they're sort of losing their gusto for things now. Every now and then people will come in, but not like they used to. They thought, oh boy, never-ending meat, and then they got sick of it, you see.
Well, it's not like you're losing any time from your life, so you said you wanted to be a farmer. So I guess you have time, if we were to let this go, to get your skills up on that.
You know, I never thought about it like that. You might be right. You know what? I think it's time to set this crisis free. Pulls the pin, and immediately, who's the tallest of the
hide.
bunch of you?
I'm a dwarf.
You're a dwarf.
I'm a goblin.
Oh, yeah, you're a
between me
goblin. You're
and
team.
Leia.
So
Leona,
it's
probably.
Eris and me. Do you want to roll for it? I don't know how. I didn't.
Well, you
How
roll.
tall do you picture Leona?
Huh?
Pretty tall and gangly.
There you go.
So you're probably the tallest then.
Ding, ding,
Okay, I'm
ding.
tall and gangly.
Pretty tall. Well, you.
Hey.
Sorry, who did we decide?
It's Leona.
I think Leona's the tallest, but I'm probably not too far behind her.
All right. So Liana, the second that pin goes out, it just like it raises some hackles, some little finned spines on its back, just goes straight up like Dilophosaurus shaking. Just like this thing is yes. Misses the first attack. Definitely misses the second attack. It's still stumbling. It's been chained up for a while. It's not at the top of its game. But it is snapping and swiping at you, Leona. And it is getting closer to you. It's actually right up against your face. Let's roll initiative, please.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
7 for Leona.
8 for me.
17 for Eris.
Wait, but we can't kill it.
Who had 8, sorry?
Mark did.
Yeah, me do. I do.
Me do. Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down? Me do.
Me do. Me do.
I'm sorry, and 7 was
The
Liana,
Simpsons.
right? Yes?
17 for
Yes.
no, 7 was Leona. Yeah.
Me do, me do, me do.
And then, sorry, Jark, what'd you get?
23.
23?
22. Sorry, 22.
How dare you?
Huh.
I'm gonna roll for Mr. Ellish Bassir. All right, Jark, you're up.
Oh, goody. Let's see. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Hey, hey, hey.
And to
What
remind
can I
people,
do?
there is still a DM powers banked for Garp,
Mm-hmm.
There
and no rerolls for literally anybody. Nar.
And we,
Yeah, nothing.
just so I remember correctly, we use the DM powers within the session, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Or does it roll over to next session? Okay, cool. See.
Sure. Sorry, new character. I've been looking, but I still don't really know what I can.
Dead boy, that's a good idea. We should.
Is he still attached to anything like chain wise?
There's still no, actually no. So the pin that was pulled, it's like he's still got a metal collar around his neck, but it released him from the chain. The chain is still loosely connected to the wall.
I'd like to grab some meat that's the closest to me.
Okay.
And try and like chuck it at his mouth.
Oh, dark.
Eat yourself.
No. Wait, is it just his meat?
Yeah.
That's there, or...
Yeah, so he's been cutting off the same prime cut of meat from the same animal repeatedly over time as it continues to grow back.
Oh.
So it's all his like leg meat. All his left leg.
Yeah, I still want to do that because meat's meat.
Yep.
I mean, you ever tasted yourself? I'm just saying.
He is eating a cucumber.
Ah.
Oh, it's meta.
Smells very
yeah,
fresh in the room right now. It's
Right?
I'll try
He's
and
making
chuck
things
some
better
meat
for
at him.
everybody.
See if he wants to eat his own meat.
Oh
hate
my
this.
god.
Great. Okay. So I guess animal handling? Let's roll an animal handling.
Good luck.
I don't want to do that. Can I just like roll to see if I can get the meat close to his mouth?
Yes,
Like
but
an
if your
attack
goal is to
roll
get him to
almost?
like eat it to calm him down, I think that's different. Because I feel like it's a range attack if you're like pelting it at his head. But if you're trying to get him to be like, accept this thing so that you calm the fuck down, that's gonna be him.
Okay. 14.
14. It's gonna be against his. Hey, guess what? He's a fucking idiot.
Huh?
So he this is sad. Oh no. So yeah, he like and just boom. And for a moment, his head turns to the like that salt case that's just full of cuts of his meat, and you just see this massive like frog tongue like all around his face, and he's gonna go and try to eat that for the moment. So probably he's gonna spend his round just eating the rest of his own leg meat. Successful.
We should take meat. We should take meat and make him follow us out the dome.
Ah.
All right,
That's my turn.
Dirk's turn. Eris.
He is delicious. But maybe you're right. And I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say to him, we know you're in pain. If you come with us, the pain will end.
Ooh. Persuasion check.
Ooh, not good on those.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I miss Aura 6.
Oh, shoot. What are those usually against?
Passive insight.
I don't know.
Persuasion? I don't know what you would
Yeah.
use against a persuasion.
I guess I just said
like an intelligence check almost?
All right. If it's intelligence, again, this frog thing is a dumb fuck. These are the lowest numbers I've seen on a sheet. So, yeah. You just like, tongue goes out, wraps around a little piece of leg meat. It's like sticking out the corner of his mouth, and he just kind of like.
All right,
And just,
everyone grab meat. Maybe we can lure him out.
sure.
And with
for the-
my movement, I'll just, and bonus or free action, I'll just grab some of the meat off the thing and start backing out.
Okay.
Backing
Yeah,
out
just-
of the butcher shop.
It bursts through the wall of the barn. It was like that little swinging door. It just takes the whole fucking wall with it. as it crawls
I
out.
feel like that scene in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids where she's holding the cookie and Auntie is like following her.
Yes. Whoa, that's part 2, isn't it? Dang. Yeah, so it crashes to the wall. It's following you slowly. It no longer seems aggressive. It seems almost hopeful as you make it down back to the end. And you see Scrunt way at the top of the hill like, where are you going? Oh, he takes off his sandwich board all sad, throws it on the ground. But as you're walking, I guess Ellish will take a turn and see if he can help the situation somehow. Got He's got nothing useful for this. He's not for those things. So he's like, very thoughtful. Well done. And Garth, it's your turn.
Can't kill it yet.
Can I'd like to, I guess, get behind it.
Sure.
And I want to try. I want to aim my blow so that it will bolt in a direction.
You want to startle it so it just charges out of the dome because you're impatient.
Slap it like a
Yep.
horse or something.
Smack
Great.
it on the butt.
Cool. Roll me an attack.
All right.
Too long.
15.
Gosh.
Gawk, no! 15 is just enough.
Ah.
And I'm going to have it see. I kind of can keep its shit. It cannot keep its shit. And just, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. It blows over a bunch of villagers on its way out.
Do you want me to make a deck save as it like just charges at me?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, because it is barreling straight for you. Yeah.
19.
All right, yeah. You just tuck and roll out of the way as you just do.
Hit like reflexes. Jump out of the way.
He's not quite to the bubble yet. So, Liana, if there's anything you'd like to do before he finishes his journey, you have a chance.
I also had picked up a slab of meat.
Uh-huh.
And so I I would like to go on the other side of the bubble with the slab of meat.
What's your speed?
That'd be a long distance.
Is it? Okay, sorry. 30 is my walking speed.
Dash.
Remember, we walked into
You'd
the
still be
village.
behind him. So maybe you could run up and then chuck the meat ahead of him. If you made like a ranged attack, you'd be able to kind of bait him out.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping I could kind of like hear doggy. But yeah, I'll do that then.
Cool.
So you want just a ranged attack?
Yeah.
19.
Great. Yeah. So you like lob that final piece of meat. Because here's the thing that happens. As he gets to the edge and his snout sort of pokes out, you see all the attempts that Francis has tried start
Oh,
to
God,
appear on
Danny,
its
no.
snout.
Mhm.
And the meat just like boom, 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 like end over end. You see it kind of like boom, past the threshold of the bubble and just like lands. And you just see that tongue one more time, like boom, and as it jumps. So it's mid leap. And as the body, like passes through, it's just, it's like picture of Dorian Gray. It all just hits him all at the same time and just big.
Please tell me he's instantly dead.
Oh, instantly dead. 100%. The second his brain was on the other side of that thing,
Thank
he was
Kloht.
toast. But he was midair, so he just finished his momentum. But yeah, he falls down dead. And you're out of combat.
That was a
Oh.
good idea, Miss Harris. Quite
God, you
unfortunate.
impatient buffoon. I hit him.
But it worked. This was taking too long.
I had to
Eris
admit
just
it, that
chomps
is
more on
right.
the
It
meat.
allows us to continue with our mission.
Fine. She feeds them to Roz.
Although discussion beforehand would be good, Gar.
Ah,
Let's move
Hello
forward.
there, Gawk. Oh, yes, temple.
To the temple, then. Yep. So you all head back up, and Scrunt
That's what I
is still
thought.
he's up there, but he's not paying attention to you guys anymore. He's just kind of like sitting on a rock, like hand on it, like head on his fist, just looking off to the side, like
I lost another. Every time. There's just nothing
How
that
old
happens at this
does
time.
how old is Scrunt?
How old does Scrunt look? Yeah.
He's like 46, maybe. He's not super old, but he's been around. He's probably lived in this village his whole life.
Scrunt.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you are healing so quickly and people that appear to be your age are not healing so quickly?
Well, that's a really good question. You see, I hadn't really thought about it. Never thought about it.
He seemed just like for a second.
Well, all right. So, full disclosure, my wife decided that if she was going to live forever, she didn't want it to be with me. So I've been sleeping in the temple for the last 3 weeks or so.
Bingo.
Oh.
I'm curious to insight check him. I want to kind of sniff and see if his pheromones change, like if he's lying.
Sure. Yeah, insight check.
If it's a... Oh, I said insight, didn't I? What is that? 22.
Yeah. No, he is laying it all out on the table for you. He's just like, yep, I'm miserable, and tours are the only thing that give me contact with humanity.
Aww.
I think the temple is the answer.
What?
I think you're right. The temple is the answer.
Oh, is it a guess?
Temple, then.
Does that mean you want to continue your tour?
Sure.
Hey! Puts the sandwich board back on.
Right, now right ahead we have the wonderful Cathrall Temple, formerly a temple to Kloht, now a temple to Luidwin. We have since removed all the eyes.
He points out to the yard, and you see a bunch of stone eyes of Kloht, like shattered, like flipped, like face down, half embedded in mud, like completely like removed. He's like,
And we've upgraded everything with beautiful visions of Luidwin herself.
and there's all these very lithe statues of a feminine figure with no details on the face, but lots of like pearlescent inlay and stuff. Yes.
I would like to use Mage Hand and pick up one of the eyes of Kloht. Hopefully one that I can see isn't too damaged, maybe just dirty, and then just have it come to me.
Sure.
And then I just kind of use my garments to brush any of the grime off so that I can pop it on the temple as we go in.
Oh boy.
And if it's
I'm sorry, what do you think you're doing?
I think she was improving it.
Oh, I was just restoring it to its former glory. You see.
We're not here for that murderer anymore in this town.
Oh, I see. Then just please consider it Kloht watching over you, that any of your past, anyone who may have fallen before you, that they may rest peacefully.
No thanks.
And he reaches over and just pulls it down.
I'll have it back, please. Oh,
I pick it up and then I just hold it with me, looking for another place to put.
Yeah, he's made
Like
his
he
point.
might
leaves
just
you
keep going,
alone.
but yeah, I'm
Yeah. And you see Ellish,
Um,
like, he's been fairly warm and friendly and patient so
Mhm.
far, but he is
Mhm.
rigid in this moment. He doesn't say anything, but dude is like a stick.
Mhm.
He's straight up and down.
when he saw the eye of-
Every muscle is tight. Yeah, when he saw it hit the ground, you just saw like a shift across his eyes. But he still holds himself in control for them.
Mm.
By the way, ever since we left the meat shop, Jark has been kind of going just to like passing people who like look the worst,
Mhm.
handing out pamphlets and just quickly saying, "Make a piece of Kloht, make a piece of Kloht." Hi, you look awful.
Make a oh god,
Make a piece of Kloht.
make a charisma check for me.
Hello, my name is Elder Tuttlefoot,
Cool. 5.
and I would like the most amazing pamphlet.
I'm gonna say the vast majority of the people, like the second they look down and they see that eye, just full eye contact with you. And just,
I'm used to that.
yeah. But I will say that maybe every 20th person, which is
Not very
literally
many.
2 people, they kind of like, and maybe it's like an elderly couple, right,
Mm.
that you went to, and they sort of look at it, and they kind of look at each other, and they look down at like various wounds that haven't quite returned back to normal, and they just kind of they stand up and they start walking down the main street, and they have their
I
arms.
don't even
linked.
see it because I'm on the. I don't even see it because I'm already
Right.
on the next
You
one.
don't even get that close. You're just like, doing my job, doing my job.
You just hear go. You just hear like here, just the pitter patter of the feet.
I love that. Yeah, great. So you get to you're now at the entrance of Catherall Temple.
Right. Well, unless it's nighttime and it's time for me to sleep, the 3 blooms don't really like me in here, so the tour continues. You should be welcome. You're outsiders. They're curious folk. They'd love to meet you, but I'll leave you here. Okay? All right. But whenever you're done with the temple, I'll be just outside. Right.
Why don't you go grab lunch or a drink or something? We'll meet up with you later.
Yes, well, I would have recommended the steak, but
And he just goes and he's like, I'll find her something as he runs down the hill.
Their family, you love them.
What? No, see you later.
What is the exterior front of the chapel look like?
It's very familiar to all of you because you all went to temples like this initially. But again, it's like they're like with mace, like mortar and all that stuff. It's just everything that would have made it recognizable has been forcibly removed, and now statuettes and symbols of Ludwin, the waterfalls of Ludwin, are just like fucking everywhere. Everywhere that the eyes would have been are there. So it is a darker castle, I'd say, if we're using, our world terms. It's very sort of gothic in design, but it's like somebody slapped a bunch of ivory shit on it to try and lighten the mood. So tall, thin doors, lots of iron wrought stuff across. It's tinted glass, not exactly stained glass, with a sort of a dim violet in all of the windows, which you all now know, of course, that is his color. But yeah, the doors are not locked by any way. They're not barricaded, and they open freely when you push on them.
I'd like to cast Divine Sense in the area, just to kind of get an idea if there's any kind of celestial fiend or undead in this temple.
And does that let you know about magic specifically or beings specifically?
Just beings in general.
Okay. You do not sense divine being on the other side of this door.
Okay.
Did we go through the door? Because you said you pushed it open.
We can.
Well, yeah. I'd say if you pushed it, they would not. So none of
sorry.
you have.
Gotcha.
I should say this.
Okay.
I can sense anything affected by the hollow spell, or know the location of any of those creatures that I said. I don't know if that changes anything.
That's all right. 2 seconds. I'm gonna look up Hallow real quick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You do pick up that there has been a hollow spell here, but it is not like one that you have ever sensed in the past. There is something fucking weird about this hollow spell. Something slightly wrong about this hollow spell. It seems tainted or twisted or in other ways not as intended. It's like someone used this prescription for not the intended use. It's weird. Weird is the sensation you get. But yeah.
Okay. I just kind of I'll reach up and and tug on either uh Eris or Liana's clothing and go, it doesn't feel right in there.
Hmm. Well, this whole town is defying nature with its magic.
But it really doesn't feel right in here.
Shall we
Before
go find it? Oh.
Yes, I think we should. Before we go in, I'm gonna use mold earth
Mhm.
the ground at the threshold of the chapel before we go in to like form in shape and color like the eye of Kloht,
Oh shit, that's
Ooh.
awesome.
just in the ground in front of the chapel.
Cool.
Say,
That is badass.
Yeah, just
never fear, your champions will restore your name.
Ellish looks at you like you're just the fucking boss. I needed to hear you say that. Thank you. He kind of looks back at the door like he was about to just lose his fucking shit and just continues forward. He starts petting Vaish in a really like shaky manner, and then just kind of forward we go.
As we walk in, under the clothes that he clothed us in, clothes he clothed us in, under my robe, I'm gonna pull out my iron claws and slip them on. So they're basically like these almost like gauntlet gloves that have like almost like Wolverine type claws on them,
Freddy
but
Krueger.
shorter.
Skip that.
Sick.
That's
I'm gonna have them.
Thank you for the
Thank you for the
follow.
follow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You see, Ellish kind of he goes for his dagger, just to like, have it ready. He has another hand up, just in case there's spills that need doing. And you see Vaish like maybe a little above waist height, just kind of like and undoes his mantis like claws, like also at the ready. He's kind of like he's walking, but he's doing that sort of like back to back mantis prance thing. You see like the bulbousness of his Black Widow thorax, just kind of like.
I'll go and lurch on the walls, the outside of the
Okay, so you're saying on the
inside
outside, like.
perimeter.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry. I'll go on the inside, but then veer to the right to stay on the back and side walls.
Sure. So inside hasn't been quite as renovated as the outside. So there's still lots of remnants of a Kloht temple here. So there's a large statue to him. So it's essentially his full figure, eyes, horns, all that stuff. It looks like him and his throne. It's actually very, very good. It's as if someone was there because you all just met him. And yeah, it's pretty spot on.
You said statue?
Just in the center of this main sort of entryway. It's a round room, and there are stairs that go up on either end, but they meet at the same entrance on the second floor. There's also a chamber that goes directly ahead of you. There's another. It's just another another set of doors.
Could I inspect the statue to see if there's been anything tampered with or anything different? If I sense anything is not as it should be. I do that.
Are you looking for magical things, or are you just looking with your eyes?
Both. Can I do both?
Do an Arcana check.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at it, but I want to, sense if anything's been. Oh, we don't have any room.
No.
6. Or no, 6, 8.
Yeah. Do you just looks like a statue?
Okay. Then I go around it and continue forward to look for this couple.
Sure. Are you heading towards the first level door or second level door?
Neve, I go just kind of behind the statue. I don't go towards either door. But then I just clear my throat and say,
Mr. and Mrs. Threebloom, are you here? Hello?
And then right behind Liana, I just take out my axe and I go, no.
From
and I are gonna hide, kind of like so if both the stairs go up. Is there a way to kind of duck under the stairs so we could like?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Thank
100%.
you so much, Clogdar.
Blessings.
Oh,
Hey, thank you very much.
Clogdar.
Blessings for all. Thank you, Clogdar. and welcome.
Blessinator.
So that's a
There we
newish
go.
name. Welcome. But yeah, so yeah, they're basically staircases that hug the round shape of the room, and underneath them they're pretty hollow. The planks go straight into the side of the building, so you're able to kind of duck behind, which works because.
I'm sorry, are there seats or pews in this?
Not
hall?
here, not in this particular room.
This is like an atrium almost.
Yeah, so this is basically like it's a big welcome center. It's like
Is there any patron in here at this point in time, or is it empty?
This room is empty. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to try and hide somewhere too, please.
You can hide under
Sure.
the other stairs if you want.
So I will say there are columns here holding the place up. So four large columns near the edge of each wall. There are also the stairs that Eris is hiding under. The statue itself is large enough to hide behind.
I'll hide behind one of the columns, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say you probably, having been to temples like this before in the past, all of you would assume that the first set of doors on the first floor, those would open up into the more sort of like church-like aspect of the temple. That's where the pews would be. That's generally where like services would be held, that sort of thing. So the upstairs is where the person running it would go to sleep or hang out, have private meetings, that sort of thing. So you imagine that's where the Three Blooms live, and also where your tour guide also lives for the moment.
Are there any? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Are there any plants or furniture up on the second floor?
No, because it's just a sort of walkway. So again, there's a couple more like columns and some nice fancy banisters, but nothing of note. There's paintings of like Kloht's past forming of the world type stuff, like tapestries and frescoes.
Nothing big to hide behind. Is that what you're asking?
I'm looking for things to hide behind in the second floor.
Sure.
Maybe even a tapestry.
Yeah, there would be a tapestry if you wanted to like drape it over yourself.
You could hide behind
little
me.
goblin feet sticking out the bottom.
I've got. Oh, I thought I had 40 feet of movement. Now I have 30 feet. Yeah. I would like to try and get up there quickly and try and just like hide.
Sure. Stealth check for me.
Was that a fly or a yay stealth?
18.
Awesome.
So you I want this to be unwitting because I like the imagery of it. Is you lift up the tapestry, you drop it over yourself, and it is of the forming of the races of the world, and it happens to land over you, and there's just
the goblin.
It's a goblin, like the first goblin ahead of you, and you just fit it perfectly, like cookie cutter style.
Super cute.
That's
Beautiful.
adorable.
And as soon as that cloth like hits the floor, the top doors open, and you see a human cleric. He's wearing not white robes exactly, just sort of like white clothes or white shirt, and then light-ish pants, probably the lightest he could afford. And he's got a pair of glasses on his face. He seems his sleeves are sort of rolled up. Hi, hello. Can I help you?
Hello, are you Burnham? Oh,
Yes, I'm Vernon. Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Welcome to the Cathedral Temple. How can I help you?
please leave.
I'm sorry.
Please leave. Thank you.
No, I don't think I will. This is my home. My wife and I are here, and we're here to stay. We're here to save this town, to save ourselves, and live happily ever after. But you can live happily ever after as well. Please, you're welcome to house. We could build you one very easily, and you want for nothing.
No, thank you.
Is there any reason why
Nobody's dying.
Yes, you're welcome.
Oh, see, that's quite a bit of it where we have a pickle.
Huh.
What she said.
We have a yes, wait, yes, they are from cucumbers. Yes, the pickle we have is
I take the eye of Kloht that I kept with me, that I picked up from the ground, and I put it very close to where he's standing. Like, is there any pillar near where he's standing?
So he's
Or
upstairs
any-
looking down at y'all.
He's upstairs, so I put
so
it.
the closest person to him is Jark, who's hiding behind the tapestry.
I would like. Could I put
Oh.
it against the wall of the stairs or against a banister?
Sure.
So then I place the eye of Kloht there.
Okay. Often happens.
How far in front of the door did he step out into that little
Ooh.
balcony area?
He has stepped past you now, past that wall, and he's just got hands on the
Banister.
Yeah, on the banister, just looking down.
May I try and slip behind him?
Sure.
My intention is to try and get to that door.
Okay.
Without him seeing me.
He does not see you.
Oh, did you want me to roll for that?
I rolled for his perception. He didn't.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. You might have saw me.
He rolled a 6. What did you get?
Well, I got a 10.
There you
so
go.
You're good.
He did not see you.
Close. I rolled a 4. So
Everyone
It's one of
else
those
in
things
the
where,
room
like,
saw
you
you,
can't
but
even-
Yeah. So you slip in.
Yeah.
No problem.
I've rolled 3 4s with Brian's dice, by the way. So
Yeah.
Ooh, Brian.
Ooh.
Want to switch to Chuck?
maybe.
So in this space that you've just found yourself in, Jark, you see there's lots of books, lots of tables, lots of like alchemist tools. There are wizards' books. There are histories of sorcerers. There's all kinds of crap just like laid out on this guy's table. And it just seems like he's been at work. He's been researching. He's been doing all kinds of stuff. You can smell various like herbs and potions and stuff like that. But beyond the sort of work area, if you look further back, you see a few beds. You see a sort of second tangential room that you imagine belongs to your tour guide, and you can hear the sleeping sounds of who must be Mrs. Cher Freebloom, who is asleep in her bed.
If I can, if I still have a time or whatever, I'm gonna try and hide. I'll try and hide next to his work area in a cupboard or something.
Oh sure, yeah. There's plenty of little storage areas, and I'm saying you don't even have to roll for that. You're just close yourself in.
Yep, I'll stay there until future happens.
Future, right? So he's So Burnin is leaning over, and he's still sort of befuddled. I don't quite understand why you're all here. But if you could all leave my town alone, that would be lovely. If I have nothing to offer you, then you could just move along. You could just move along and leave us alone.
No, I'm
That's the-
sorry.
That's the thing. You kind of really need to leave these people alone.
Yes, what
Isn't-
you've done is
isn't-
quite unnatural. You have tampered with the order of life and death. I'm sorry, but you need to go, please.
I don't. That's what magic is for, no? To protect others,
No.
to save people. That's what I
Yes,
do.
but not if it is past their time. You see, there are some who are. Oh, thank you, God, for the donation.
Gosh dang it, that's
Ugh.
hilarious.
Thank you, Bard.
Oh my goodness.
The disguised sea hag named Suan, standing nearby, heard you trying to get the cause of the immortality of the shrieks and attack. Wait, what? One day she will have a granddaughter named Sel. I got that part.
She's
That's
heard that we
Oh.
were trying to get
hilarious.
Three blooms to leave.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as y'all are talking, you hear the the door kind of open. You see this woman like step back, close it behind her. I'll try to do more with her, I swear. So it was a weird situation. You gave him bard.
Eris,
Funny.
you, would you believe in the natural order of things? Perhaps you would like to have a word with Mr. Three Blooms here about how he should wear in a pickle.
He
just a
comes
word.
down the steps to join you all. Like, he really wants to sort of talk this out. He feels like he has some sort of high ground, I imagine. So, but no,
Oh,
please.
you're coming this way. Let us go this way then.
Well, no.
Just kind of like put an arm around
I'm
his waist
going-
and like start
nope.
walking him.
No further than this. This is my home. But
Home.
I'm happy to discuss this with you. It's... I truly do not understand. I have saved lives, countless lives. Well, I guess not countless. My best, right?
I understand. what you-
Well, no, they can leave anytime they wish, but as long as they're here, they stay alive and unharmed.
They can't leave. I mean, walk out the bubble and
Well, yes, but only if they were already supposed to have died, right? So yeah, poor Frederick, who snapped his neck not long ago, and
Mr. Three
children.
Blooms.
Yes,
May I ask you a question, please?
of course. Yes.
Have you consulted with Ludwig regarding this? How does she feel?
What do you know about it?
Oh, I don't. I
Nothing.
just thought it.
No, of course I have a blessing.
Oh,
Of course.
oh,
Why should
my
I be
friends,
here?
I believe he is acting against Ludwig's wishes. He seemed. Yes.
right.
You're
What if
very
I was to
transparent,
tell you
Mr.
that we're
Threebloom.
actually guardians of Ludwig, and we're emissaries on her behalf, and that you're all doing some. Leon, what am I looking for?
Against her wishes?
Ah,
Deception check.
Do you want me to roll with him because I gave him a word? Does it?
No, he's lying to his face.
Okay.
15.
Yes.
Fuck you. Okay, fine. I stole it. All right, I stole it, and I tainted it, but I did it for a good cause. I did it to save my wife, and I did it to save all of these people.
Oh.
I found a relic of Ludwig at a church not too far from here, the Kingdom of Estrain, and I stole it. I took it to Sanctum Safehold, where I worked with the gnomes for countless hours. Create this item that boosts the power of a tear of Ludwig. It twists it to will. It essentially becomes a living wish. My living wish is for those in its range to never die. And I have been granted that. I granted that for myself. I made my own world. If you don't like it, you can leave. But you don't get to take
Well,
it from me.
unfortunately, in the process, you has pissed off our god, and I'm gonna step out from under the stairs and cast Entangle on him.
Great.
Can you try and give me a strength save of 14? But I mean, I want you to fail, so don't.
Oh. Yeah, he's entangled. You see him, he's like,
Shit.
Share! Share!
Eris looks at Gark and says, "Too long."
Sunny.
And then Jark, where you are in the other room, you can see Cher sort of stirring in her bed as she sort of like starts rubbing her eyes and begins to rise.
Jay, I'll
Um,
stay.
Did I see what direction Burnham was looking when he was calling Cher's name?
Yeah, he was like up and over his shoulder as he's being wound down.
Eris, with your blessing, may I go look after his wife? While you, well, you're doing quite a fine job here.
I'm going to drag him out of this town and kill him.
Oh,
But-
yeah, I like that.
What?
Okay.
And
Gawk,
Ellish just
Gawk,
quiet
Eris,
smile.
Gawk and Eris, you do that, and I will go check on his wife and make sure she is well.
Right, maybe you can ask her where the thing is.
Yes.
So while you all are approaching, we'll cut back to Jark for a moment. And so Cher stands, and she has obvious, as you're sort of peering through the crack in the cupboard that you're hiding in, she stands up. There's sort of like, it seems like a branch or maybe like a long root or something sort of sticking through her.
Jeez.
But otherwise, she's perfectly fine. Like, she's moving around like normal, and she's just, she's just waking up. She's waking up from a nap.
Look at that.
Yeah,
I've been
there's-
impaled.
It's
The
like there's
best part of
blood
waking
stain
up
and
is
kind of like
staying
grows and shrinks with like heartbeat speed. So it's like you could like she is in this permanent stasis of lethality, and he is able to keep her cycled in this place so that she never succumbs. Right. So she's living her life day to day. She sort of gets up and she's a little panicked. She's looking around for stuff to grab. So she pulls up like sort of a club that they keep by the bed, and she slings it over her shoulder, and she starts walking now past the sort of bedroom area into the research area.
Close the door behind her. Lock it.
Oh, so you're in the
Oh,
room by
I
yourself?
was on my way. Do I get there fast enough?
So she has not. So sorry, there's like two phases to this room. So that it's like study area, like half threshold, and then this. So there's no door between the two. That's how we're able to see the bedroom when you first came in.
I'll stay.
So she comes forward, and I'm gonna say just as Liana comes in, and at the same time that Liana comes in, one of those purple stained glass windows smashes in as Sue Ann hero lands in the middle and
Lord.
starts just digging through books, ignoring you, ignoring her, just like she's like going through books, she's going through materials, she's knocking shit over, trying to find whatever she overheard, which then panics Cher. And you're still hiding out for the moment?
I will keep an eye on what Cher might go for.
Okay. Cool. So Cher, I'm gonna say, so yeah. Sorry, what Cher might go for, or what Sue Ann might go for?
I have an inkling that that these two. I can assume he wasn't very quiet downstairs. I'm assuming I could still probably hear him pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait to see. I'm watching Cher to see what she does.
Sure. She picks up that big stick that she just got, and she's gonna charge at Sue Ann because this crazy lady just broke in. Liana, despite your will in this endeavor, you seem to be approaching non-aggressively, so she's not viewing you directly as a threat. Well, she's got panicked eyes flicking between you and the woman destroying her husband's shit.
That makes sense.
And she swings and a miss. And go again, and she hits, and so she clocks Sue Ann across the face, which hurts Sue Ann. But again, you see like the cut of like there's like little iron studs across this stick, and they like slice into her cheek, and they just go. Boop, boop, boop. But where they sliced, you see green skin sort of open up under the fleshy skin, and then that skin closes, and then the fleshy skin closes. This person is not human. Liana, what do you do?
You know that you can't kill her while she's here. Sorry, I've caught you eating. It's about time.
Well, I could make her hurt enough so that she'll want to leave,
Yes, I understand. You are Cher Three Blooms, yes?
yeah? Yes. I'm sort of in the
Hello,
middle
my
of
name-
something. Maybe you could help me with this one and we could have a conversation.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, madam. Please step away please do not harm the scripture or the books. They are very valuable. Don't dog ear the pages if you must just gently leaf through. If you have gloves, it may be good to handle the books with.
She's
Oh goodness, that is Well, please leave.
She ignores you for the moment and continues to you see her grab a book with the waterfalls of Ludwin on it, and you see her grab some it's a gnomish book, and you can tell because it doesn't tabletop titties. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, friends. Thanks for joining us.
On the table.
It's really short
Sorry.
stools. Hello. Yeah. So what? Where was I? Lost it. It's gone.
She was
through
going
books.
through
Yes.
the book.
Yes, so
Waterfalls of Ludwin.
she grabbed a book of Ludwin, and then she grabs a gnomish book that seems to sort of open. You remember those toys that you could get when you were a kid? Where it was ribbon and a few planks of wood, and you open it this way, it's fine, and then you close it, you can open it the other way. It's that, but a book, and with a shit ton of pages, and that's how this gnomish book opens. So you got to know the trick. And she's got both of them open, and you see her kind of her eyes kind of and just start glowing, and she starts flipping through, and she's her eyes, she starts reading both at once. She's just sort of trying to figure out what happened here.
Gnomish airships?
Oh, goodness. Well, could you tell me what you're looking for?
Can I would like to cast where is it? Comprehend languages.
Sure. Yes.
So I cast it on myself. It's for 1 hour. What did she just say? Or I'll ask again.
Mind your business.
May I ask what you're looking for? Perhaps I can help.
She looks up at you and she switches to speaking common.
Well, I just cast it.
What person has solved immortality, and I'm going to take it from him. That's what's happening.
Oh, could you do it in another room, please?
Yeah. Yes.
Boom. She grabs both the books and she walks off back out the window.
There we go.
And you see Cher
That's quite
That's
right.
really
If she
what we
leaves,
need.
she'll die. Oh, oopsie doopsie.
Yeah.
Oopsie doopsies.
Oopsie doopsie.
I call quite loudly.
Someone has fled with some important manuscripts. If you would like to find them, I believe it may have the answer to immortality. But now please leave.
Hey, Bird Blindie, thank you for gifting that. So
I called
Actually,
that. I said that down the stairs.
Upon hearing the old hag leave with books that Cher is
Freaking out over.
freaking out over, I like to bust out of the cabinet and go and try
Goblins everywhere.
and then go and try and get the hag.
Grab her, get her.
the hag just jumped out the window, so you got to jump out after her if you're going for her.
I'll do that.
Awesome. Acrobatics check, please.
Thank you.
Hey!
Doesn't really matter. 25.
You're a monk, that's why.
Oh shit! Yeah, you
Feather fall and everything.
So you manage to,
And-
as this glass is still falling, you use each piece of
And I have
glass
slow
like a
fall.
step. And you have what?
Slow fall.
Slow fall.
And I have slow fall.
Awesome. Yeah. So you piece of glass to piece of glass to piece of iron to piece of glass, and then you just
Nice.
double heel right into the back of her neck and just drive her face into the earth-shaped eye of Kloht that Eris made. Just boosh.
Nice.
I know that doesn't match up geographically, but it's cool, damn it. But yeah, so she's prone, and you're on her face, and the books bounce out of her hands.
Yeah, I scoop them up,
Sure.
and I would like to run back towards the group.
Right. See?
She's
Damn
gonna
it.
she got an attack of opportunity on you.
She
Huh?
did, and she
She
missed it.
attack of opportunity.
So she while face still buried in earth, she's and can't get you. So she like Looney Tunes pops her head out of the ground, and then just like, well, you can't say I didn't try. And she turns on her heel and just fucking leaves.
Okay, Latrine.
I was
Great. So you return with the books. And Liana, I guess Liana, you're still in the room with Cher. It's like, I guess we can talk now. So
Hello.
what are you doing in my house?
Hello. Oh, but it's a temple, right? I figured it was all right for me to come here.
Okay, I mean, yes, everyone is welcome, but not
Yes,
everyone is
thank
welcome
you.
to come in here and kick me out. That's a little bit
Oh, I
different, isn't it?
apologize. I had a bit of a ruckus, you see. Yes, with, the book snatcher, if you will. May
Right.
I ask what happened?
Well,
And I
oh,
gesture to the branch.
yes, we were leaving the kingdom of Israel, and we crossed a small wooden bridge. The bridge gave out. The wagon fell, and Vernon was thrown from it. It made it into the water. I stayed within it, and the entire carriage was impaled upon a bunch of extended roots, and one of them got me right through the heart. And he was sort of a dabbling cleric at the time, so he was able to stabilize me, but not keep me from dying. So he took me all the way to Sanctum Safehold, wasted all his energy to keep me alive there, did whatever he did, and now here we are, living peacefully together. And all
I'm
these
so
people
sorry
safe
that
as well.
happened.
Thank you. I'm all right now.
I'm glad.
And as she
Did you
says, I'm all
see-
right now again, like the blood pumps out, pumps back in, pumps out, pumps back in.
Do you understand that if you ever that you are now confined to this temple, that if you leave, you will be as you were?
Right, which is why I fully intend to stay here
Yes.
with my husband.
Forever?
Well, why not?
Is that much of a life? To not see the sun rise, to not see it set, to not hear music.
And we've got a minstrel in the inn, and we've got windows.
Yes, but it's not really living
It's not
to just be
dying, no.
here.
I imagine maybe if we get tired of it, we could walk off into that sunset together.
Yes.
But for now, I'm very happy to be alive.
Well, that's it's unfortunate.
Is it?
No, yes, no, yes, no.
Right, I'm gonna go check on
Please
Vernon
leave.
now. And she sort of shoulders past you
Yes.
and goes open to the
Well,
door where she
oh,
sees
Well,
Eris,
oh.
like, all entangling her husband.
be at peace. Oh, bother.
Great. Sorry. Yeah, so she
So-
sprints down the stairs. Are you coming back in the front door, jerk?
I'd probably already come back in by this
Okay.
point in time.
Yeah.
The conversation
She-
that they had.
Does she go
When-
to try and get him out?
Yeah.
Would she need to make another save? As she goes into the entangled.
I think the entanglement is one.
I would say I would have already come back in by the time that they,
Hmm.
Liana and Cher, had finished that conversation.
Yeah.
So I come in and go, I found some information. I found some books that were being stolen. Might be useful.
Ellish looks at them. Yes, very useful. Thank you. And he just sort of the second it goes past his vest, they just sort of shrink and
You don't want to read it? It might
not
be
now. We are in the
where-
middle of something, aren't we?
could be the location of where
Ah,
that relic
Oh.
is.
I see. Yes. All right. Very well. Start. He kind of does what the hag does, but in a much classier fashion. Like he's just kind of boom, but his eyes just like blew over, and he just is able to just float both books in front of his eyes and just read both at the time. Well, I was able to discern that yes, he did use these books to do what he needed to do. However, I don't know where he put the thing that he tainted. It's only about this big, whatever it is. He said it was a twisted tear of Luidwin, so small enough to fit just about anywhere.
Huh. Well, little fellow, I could cut you open in pieces and see if it's inside you.
Well, it would be a sincere waste of time, sir, and I would heal up just fine, thank you.
So you're saying we should check inside your wife?
He, like, tries to fucking go for you. Like, he's trying to fight through the vines to get to you. Is that a strength check for him to be able to bust out?
Mm-hmm. 14 to be free.
14. Fuck, natural 1. He can't. He somehow tangles himself worse. But, like, yeah, you could... Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, you're
I'll
good.
say what I wanted.
Jump in.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on Burnham.
Okay.
It's a wisdom saving throw. I
Okay.
have to pass 14.
Come on. 18!
Oh.
You.
No.
Done.
It's like, you leave her alone.
No, I don't. I want her to be it. You understand that this is... I understand why you did this. Because you love her.
Yes.
And you want to be with her.
Yes.
Yes. It must have been very painful to have seen what you saw. I understand why you went to the sanctum. You see, I studied there. But what you have done to prolong her life for so long and your own, it is not
it
the
natural,
way of the
sir?
world. Yes.
Have you died yet?
No. Not yet. Are you going to kill me?
Here, show him what happens. Can you bludgeon me, please? Just as a demonstration.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I also would chime in to say that's probably not the best idea, Leona. If it causes enough damage to end you, when you leave this bubble, you
Oh,
die.
yes, if I left. Oh, I understand.
But I
now.
appreciate your
Thank you.
enthusiasm.
Yes.
Question for you, Vernon. Has your wife, other than the large stake through her body, is that the only time she's died?
Yes, that is the only time, but it was enough. I was able to spare her past the edge, bring her back for a quick moment, and I've been holding on to her ever since. Make Liana, you sort of started down this train of thought, so make me a persuasion check as he's sort of considering. Yeah, he's considering his options.
Oh, come on.
Ryan, low.
Thank you.
Clear.
I don't know why I always ask Ryan to just good luck. Oh, you gave me bad luck.
Ha!
8. No, 9. I have +1. Not much.
Unnatural or not, she belongs with me. She wants to be here. If she wanted to go, I would let her go.
Yes,
It's
but
a
what you
wish.
did was...
Have you walked outside lately?
What do you mean?
You gone and seen?
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garth, there's people that look like this all the time.
What?
And then there's people that look like this all the time.
Ellish, you
Yes.
speak for Kloht. These two weren't even in this town, weren't supposed to be here when the plague hit. Could you ask Kloht if he wants these two as well? Well, he did say 56, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. These two are part of it.
but as a courtesy, Ellish does so in. And he, Liana, he sort of reaches in to your sort of storage area, pulls out that stone eye of Kloht that you pocketed, and just unfortunately the mission stands. And he hands it back.
You know, 3 broomsticks. They teach us in the Temple of Kloht that when you die, there's a certain peace that you gain. You might be reconnected with loved ones once you're there in the afterlife. Now, I'm not telling you to kill yourself or anything, Mr. 3 Broomsticks, but there is a way where people here can be at peace, the way it's taught. And the only way you can achieve true peace is by being together in the afterlife. That way you don't have to see people walking around with weird neck things or sticks sticking out of their bodies.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh dear. Oh, add a blessing.
A blessing.
Oh yeah, there's blessing.
I forgot I had a blessing.
A Justin blessing.
Forgot there were blessings.
19.
Nice.
He sort of slumps in the ensnared vines that he's currently in. I hate to say it. He looks over to his wife. I do think you're right. I think this has gone on long enough, and I can't look at her like that forever. I let her go. You'll find it behind the eye of the Luidwin statue in the front of the church. I'd get it for you, but
I immediately go running after it with my axe up.
Oh, smart.
And I just chop the head of the statue off.
Yep. Just smash. So he hears it from the outside. He doesn't even see it, but like from the outside, because you have to kind of like climb up on some stuff to get there because it's over the door. And yeah, you like crunch it. The head just poof, and as the head poofs, it crunches into a few more pieces. You see the eye like ding out, and this little silvery blue glowing gem in the shape of a teardrop just kind of rolls in the center of that eye of Kloht made by Eris.
I pick it.
Yep.
I bring it back in.
And I walk over to... Oh, sorry.
I got it.
Well done, Gar. And thank you for being so accommodating, Burnham. Destroy the gem.
My pleasure.
Before you do,
Oh.
Mr. Burnham, Mr. 3 Burnham, and I give him the pamphlet. And I go, you should make your peace with Kloht, but know this, he is a very misunderstood god. He's also made a mistake here and there, so we all make mistakes. So don't be afraid if you have to meet him. Just say you're sorry. I'm sure he'll understand.
Can you please, if this is to happen, let me out of these vines so I can hold my wife?
Before I do that, I'm going to walk up to the wife. With one hand, I'm going to grip the stick that's in her. And with my other hand on her shoulder, push. And I want to try and yank the thing out of her.
Shit. Medicine check?
Medicine. Maybe I should bless it. I'm gonna bless it.
You should.
Yeah, all right.
Do I have a blessing? I
14.
don't see.
Yours is down below.
Oh, my brain is broken.
And Justin's gone too, Matt.
You got a
Thank
what?
you.
14.
14. Yeah, that's.
But hear me out.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. So my goal is to I want to pull the stick out of her, and then I want to cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, when you first yank it out, before the instant that you cast Cure Wounds, it's this sort of awful vision of just a hole, and with every heartbeat, it just like fills with liquid blood, and the light from the purple stained glass splashes through it, and then it recedes and splashes back in. And you cast Cure Wounds, and the hole closes up, and the blood goes away. The clothes are still stained, but other than that, everything she seems fine. She looks fine.
And then I'll back away from her, and I'll let him go from the entanglement.
He immediately goes and just holds her, and they have a very quiet, private moment. They're whispering into each other. They're both, sobbing. They're just holding each other, and eventually, after a couple minutes pass, he sort of looks over his shoulder and he nods to you, Dark. He knows what your job is. Just
I take the flat end of my great axe and just
cool. Roll it as an attack.
Okay. 10.
Your axe.
How do you
chips.
miss?
Bless it.
Bless it. Yeah, I bless it.
There you go.
I'll bless it.
Oh yeah.
You also
Use your
have DM powers
right now.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna use
DM
DM powers.
All right, for 1 minute, you get to say
There
what
you go.
happens. What timing, eh? Whoosh, wabam.
So I take my great axe in my hand and I pull open my chest in not my chest, but my shirt, showing off the the tattoo that I have.
Mhm.
I press the great axe against my chest, and the warm glow that kind of is imbued on the tattoo is transferred to the axe for a moment.
Mhm.
I raise it and I bring it down on the tier, causing the reliquary that it's in to shatter, and then it starts to like compress the tier and starts to fracture, kind of like a prince, or what is
The Witch King.
No, I was thinking there's actually a glass drop that if you crack it at one end, it just kind of breaks the rest of it and shatters. But yeah, as soon as it hits one place of it, it just shatters into billions of pieces. And
All right. So yeah, as the dust of this gem just wisps away on whatever wind is from the open door, you see Share 3 of Bloom go limp. And Vernon stands up and kind of goes towards the door because he was listening when you were talking, and he sees a lot of stuff happens at once. And again, very sort of picture of Dorian Gray. Plague sweeps over the town, and you see it hit in a matter of seconds. All those things that should have happened all at once. Same thing with all the broken limbs, random accidents, drownings, all that stuff. Everybody just kind of boom, boom. They're still actually no, the plague takes care of those who are not otherwise injured, dead. The only person still alive is Vernon 3 Bloom, and Ellish walks up to him. 56. Stabs him straight through the heart. Don't mess with the natural. And just lets him fall down. Well done, champions of Kloht. I am happy to say our first mission was a tremendous success. Well done.
That was kind of fun.
Thank you, sir.
You've done a wonderful service for your god.
It may have been a more elegant way to do that. Ooh.
Can I
Elegant.
bend
We're
over?
sure.
Elegant. He twisted the word of Kloht. He twisted death itself. What I did to him was a mercy.
Yes. He did it for love. Do you not understand that?
Weakness. Nothing more.
Oh, we go.
I bend.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to say I bend over Burnham, and I began to pray for the ascension of his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
It was quick, Liana. It could have been worse.
Yes, and Liana,
And-
I have just reunited those two, so if anything, he should be thanking me. We were charged for 56 souls. We delivered 56 souls. Are you questioning Kloht, Liana?
I
I do not question Kloht, Ellish. I question you.
Yeah, when he did that, I'd like to have insight checked him. Just where his mindset was at.
Absolutely.
Because that was not a natural death whatsoever.
Dirty 20.
20. Ellish thinks he's telling the truth. 100%. Like, this is weird, like, zealotry in his brain. Like, he 100% thinks, like, this is exactly what needed to happen, because this dude's still standing. I was told 56. And so he just...
I completely agree with him.
Yeah.
I completely agree with him.
He finished the count.
Well, I'm going to start restoring what I can. And then walk outside and I'll start kind of reassembling the Kloht symbols that were thrown in the mud, and I'll just kind of start cleaning them up and reassembling like the altars.
Oh, I can help with that. I've done a lot of mopping the floors of temples.
And I badly start using my hand axe and carving eyes of Kloht into the temple.
Ellish sends Vaish to help you, Eris, as well, and all those little deft claws and hands are actually pretty decent at like laying mortar for things to go up. And yeah, you all together just start tearing down all the Ludwig stuff and restoring this. I also Jark, do you also like line everything with pamphlets like before you go?
No, no, because it's already a temple of Kloht.
Okay.
So I wouldn't need to do that if it's a temple.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So mission accomplished, kids. So yeah, so Ellish sort of touches his own heart, and closes his eyes for a second, and then you find yourself back at your stone seats. That sort of pin light. Yeah. That was exciting, and I'm certain there will be many more over time. Fellow champions of Kloht, I welcome you to the fold. I trust that you will continue to trust me as your leader. And he shoots a sharp look at Liana, but then continues with that same quiet, confident smile that he sort of always had. We're going to do great things together. And he is able to, like, there are comforts here. Like, the chairs are sort of just where you go to meet and plan and that sort of thing. But there are places for you all to sleep. There are places for you all to drink. And Kloht uses magic to make sure that, again, you want for nothing. And you also get to sort of, the trade-off for setting the world right is you get to sort of live in this limbo place and never die.
I go get a plate of cheese.
Fabulous. So as you all are eating your
Limbo
cheese and having a great
charcuterie
time, that's pretty much it for this session. But for next session, you're all going to level up to 10. Because, again, we are spanning the careers of the champions of Kloht. So next week will be sort of middle of their careers, height of their power sort of thing. And it's going to be a good time. So join us next week for that. Tomorrow night, we have Perception Check, 7:30 p.m. on Twitch. And Thursday night, we have the new episode of Marapas Colony. I do that every single time. Marapas Colony, which is our sci-fi teens in space show with a bunch of new friends on it. And then Friday night, we have Birds of a Feather Heist Together on Friday Night Special. We have 3 more episodes of that as well. And that's with GM Steve and a bunch of friends as well. And again, join our Discord is the best way to keep track of us. And thank you, everyone. If anything you saw tonight you think was worth at least $1, please consider joining our Patreon. So thank you to our Patreon producers, Liam Heddlemeyer, Option Delete, as well as our associate producers, Brittany Stratsford, Indy Skeep, Jesse Glaspie, M. Jason O'Dowd, Michi909, as well as all of our fabulous Felted family and friends. We appreciate it. Again, it helps support us, helps us keep the lights on, and lets us do shit for you like this. Hooray! And again, 2 more weeks of this mini campaign, and then we're right back to finishing up that fight with Ellish Bassir, who is our big bad for the main campaign of Saladin's Legacy, thousands of years later after lots of shit. It's a good time. And as always, we're going to pay that love forward with a raid. So all you raiders, thank you so much. If you're still here, stick around so we can pay another raid forward. Who we going to raid? Who we doing? What we doing? Should I look for something? Matt, you got it? I'll find somebody.
Heyo.
Okay, I mean, if you got one, go ahead.
We got one.
All right, Cave Geek Art.
Aw.
Do it.
Alright.
Cute.
Cave Geek Art makes wonderful leather maps. We met him at our very, very first TwitchCon. He's a funny, funny dude. Go check him out. Thank you for joining, Ilaria. Much appreciated. And thank you, friends. Bye.
Hi, guys.